Oh my God! Let's not hit that. Don't warm your voice up in the morning, right?
Of your season, right?
That is representative of my season. We should do that again. Just keep that in.
I'm not getting rid of that.
We need more phlegm, though, please.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the phlegm edition. Ahem.
That in the background.
Our Vegas fantasy. Our Vegas fantasy. It's not a show about sex. It's about football. The phlegm version.
Oh, it's like a sex operator singing the theme.
It's the January version of that song. We're out of fantasy football and our lives have less to do and we're tired and the phlegm version. Anyway, hi! Welcome to a very special roundtable edition of Our Vegas Fantasy. I'm Kenny Davidsen.
Hi guys, I'm Christina Shaw.
And we have special guests with us. We have half of our Dynasty League in this room.
So excited,
And
guys.
we're going to go, we have in town our friend that I can never pronounce his last name, so we're going to have him do it, Tom.
Nanthavongdouangsy.
Exactly.
Wow.
Thank you.
I got it right.
Of these guys worldwide. We have the very famous one half of the Righteous Brothers, Bucky Hurd, in the room.
Yeah.
We have the newest member of Zumanity in the room, Steve Weiss.
Hello.
And we have, obviously, hosting our podcast in his room, we have Jacob Smith.
Jacob.
Before Jacob talks, I, Christina, just wanted to take a moment and welcome Jacob to the show. I love Jacob more than anyone has any business to love anyone. And I just want to say, even though I won the Dynasty League this year, Jacob, I feel like, has a moral victory over me. So I just want to welcome Jacob to the show. Thank you so much, Christina. That is very kind of you.
Yes.
I really appreciate that.
Yes.
If you guys listened to our show in September, I was away and Jacob had filled in for me, and he just wanted to act like me for the first minute and started to berate me on how I was Taylor Swift. And,
I don't remember you being out of town.
That was so funny.
I
What?
listen to every show. I don't remember you ever being out of town.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So funny.
You were on every episode.
So funny.
Oh, man.
Thanks for bringing that back.
So we decided for just a year-end wrap-up, we're going to just have a roundtable of our regular degenerate fantasy football players that we have in this room, because we all play multiple leagues. We're all obsessed with this during the season, even now in the off season, because we're all in a dynasty league. So we're going to be talking about this now 12 months of the year. But so let's talk about how we all did this year. And obviously, Christina Shaw won the dynasty league. Yes, we know. We're never going to hear the end of this.
The inaugural champion.
Just for this year, you'll never hear the end of it. I have a whole year to. Where's my belt, Kenny?
Was your belt?
Yeah. Trophy, belt.
What, are your pants falling down?
I think
Do
so.
I get
yeah.
anything? No.
You're the first champion. What should it be? A belt? You want like a WWF belt?
Week one.
Maybe a crown.
Let me tell you something.
want a
The
crown.
over under. All right. Here's the bet that we're gonna have at the casino next year. The over under on the first text I get from Christina Shaw that says I hate fantasy football. Week 1 of 2020. Who's taking the bet with me?
I mean, I can go with that.
No, I would say under. It'll be during the draft.
Very good.
By the end of the draft.
Very good.
I hate my team. I hate fantasy football.
I hate fantasy football.
Tom, how does
I hate
now,
all of you.
Now, Tom had a monster year last year
I
because
did.
Tom drafted Patrick Mahomes, James Conner in like every league last year, and he won half
did.
of his leagues and finished in the money in every league.
Yep.
And this year, not so good.
Nope.
What'd you do?
Won first place in 2 leagues, and then I was 7th and below in the other 4.
Still 2 championships.
Yeah, but if
Yeah.
you get that odds-wise, no, not too great.
Did you
Yeah.
make any money?
I think I broke even.
All right.
That's
well.
not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't play for money, but the.
Oh, no,
fake-
no, not at all.
Monopoly
Fake
money
no.
all day.
No, right.
Yeah.
Bucky,
Coupons.
Yeah.
Bucky, what'd you do this year?
I was in six leagues, 2 dynasties, and one of the dynasties, as you know, I played with 52-man roster. We play linebackers, cornerbacks, draft the whole thing. It's
You have
salary
college players in that league, right?
cap. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh my
So
lord.
it's
crazy.
So I went to the playoffs in 5 and won one championship
yeah.
out of 5. Went to 2 Super Bowls, but
Yeah.
that's not
All
bad.
right, all right.
I probably came close to breaking even, which was a win.
You
this
know
year.
what? That's,
Right.
Listen, close to breaking even is
Dude,
innocent.
It's a brutal year.
That's brutal.
Everybody I've talked to,
Yeah,
except
that's it.
Christina.
Isn't it funny how we all get greedy though? It's like, I won 2 championships.
Oh
I guess
yeah,
it was okay.
I guess that means we're good.
It's weird how it brings out the greed and all
does.
that.
We want to win them all.
You just want to be able to have the bragging rights.
Absolutely.
I know more than you.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Steve, what'd you do this year? You had a good year.
I had a great year. Well, I played in 7 leagues. I won 2 championships, but I made the playoffs in all 7.
Nice.
So
All
I was
7.
like across the board, was killing it until the playoffs,
Me too, dude.
which we all find out is,
Dude.
I mean, you got to peak at the end, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then it's not.
So you had
good.
some bad luck, is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
I had a buddy of mine with
No,
Lamar Jackson and
strategy-wise,
Mahomes.
I fell short. I'm still more of a strategy over luck person, but luck, it's like a 60-40. What's the debate?
We're going to get into it.
Oh,
Yeah,
No, we'll
Yeah.
get into it.
we're going to get into it. It's Christina won this year, so it's all luck. So anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all luck.
Jacob.
I played 3 leagues. I won one, second place in one, and then 10th place out of 12 in the other.
There you
So
go.
I had a couple like
one
that too.
one that was not very good at all.
Yeah.
I can't remember where I ended up in our dynasty league. I quit looking. I was close to the bottom, 11 or 12.
Close to the bottom. I finished 4th in that league. So I have
Yeah,
35 leagues.
I just don't even
is
get
that the rest
3
of us combined? It's probably
Yeah.
All of you
Probably more
combined,
than the rest
all
of
of
us.
you
Yeah.
combined still do not add up to my total.
This is true.
So,
No, not even close.
yeah, I won 3 titles, came in 3 second place, 2 third place. I made the playoffs in almost half, 17. But now last year, 24 leagues, I made the playoffs in 17. I cashed in 12.
Yeah.
Your
So I had my
percentage
best year
went way
last
down.
year. Yeah, my percentage.
Last year I
went way
cashed
down.
in 100% of my leagues.
Yeah.
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 Jeez.
I
So-
got first and second place in my 2 leagues last year. But it
That's
sounds
right.
better if I say 100%.
100%. It does say.
And I can, and I went back to my drafts. I can explain my failure very quickly. I drafted like crap.
Oh, yeah.
35 leagues, 2 Chris Godwin shares,
Yeah.
1 Austin Eckler share, 0 Lamar Jackson shares, and that adds up to a crappy season. And my Dalvin Cook teams and my Mark Andrews teams were the teams that won.
Yeah.
You know?
I didn't have a single player that you just named on any of my 3 teams.
There you go.
Yeah.
Jacob, since you only have 3 teams, are you going to go to maybe 4 or 5 next year? And
No, I kind of want to go back down to 2.
Really?
but the problem is 2 of my leagues are Kenny leagues.
Oh yeah,
So I'm like, oh, I guess I'm in.
yeah.
No, I used to do like 9 and 10 leagues a
Oh,
year.
okay.
And I just had to drop back.
It's too much.
Yeah, it's way too much.
I don't know how you do it, Kenny.
Yeah.
He loves it.
It's 4 months.
For the love of fantasy
I
football.
love it. I have the best time. I had the best time. I really did. I had the best
Not
time
this
doing
year.
it. Well, no, I still had fun.
Yeah, no.
Despite
One of my
winning or
favorite
losing.
things is at 12:01 a.m. on Wednesday morning, Tuesday
Yes.
night.
Yes.
I think my mic just went out.
No,
No,
there
no,
you
no.
go.
Oh, okay.
There you are. Yeah.
At that exact time, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be the first one to get waivers, and Kenny's already made 3 transfers.
No.
Right.
I'm at the point where I know which leagues I got to get at 12. Literally, as soon as my clock hits midnight, I got to take care of
It's
it.
like you see those green plus signs.
I
you're like,
know.
Boom.
Yep. So how? Now, who did not have Lamar Jackson? I did not have Lamar Jackson.
I did
I
not.
had no shares of
No
Lamar
shares.
Jackson.
Had
So,
one.
Steve, you're the only one that had Lamar Jackson.
Wow.
I'm so smart.
Yeah.
And it was the league where you and I were the last 2 to draft a quarterback.
Yeah.
I remember because we're like staring at each other. Who's going to take a quarterback first? And
Yeah.
fine, I'll be the 11th person to take a quarterback. I'll take Lamar Jackson.
Wow.
Not bad.
Woo.
Not bad.
Is that the league you won?
And then I won, yeah.
Nice.
Now here's a surprise league winner, and this is how fantasy and reality have nothing to do with each other because this guy's a 30-30 player. 30-30 in football is not good because he threw 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. Jameis Winston.
Famous Jameis.
Famous
Jameis.
Jameis. Anybody have Jameis?
Nope.
Wow.
Nope.
We all avoided Jameis. I had Jameis in a couple leagues, and it helped.
My
Jam-
QBs that won it for me in my big league were Dak and Danny Dimes.
Yeah, Dak
Daniel
also
Jones.
did good.
Dak
this
was
year.
a big deal this
Yeah,
year.
he was.
I had to trade for him in that league, but I managed.
And that was the
I
one you
grabbed
won,
it.
your
That was
championship?
my big one. Yeah,
Yep.
and it's also my big money one. So that was a good one for me to win.
Yeah, I had to trade for him too because in our dynasty league, I kept getting undercut for a quarterback whenever I wanted to get a quarterback, and it was our first dynasty, so I was thinking regular, draft, and so anytime I wanted to pick somebody, nobody was there. I ended up having like Drew Lock, and I think my quarterback was, I want to say, I don't even remember because I dropped him after I made the trade.
Yeah.
But somebody offered me Dak, and
This was me.
Oh yeah,
We
that's
could just
right.
talk about this trade. 'cause
Yeah,
this was
that's
me.
right.
That's right. There's a
And
dynasty
this is
trade
also
between
the
Jake
trade
and Tom.
that launched my team back into the running into
Yeah.
second place.
Yep.
Like I went from something like 8th place in the league and managed to finish in second because of this trade.
Yeah.
So
What
go ahead,
was the trade?
talk about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
the trade, it was Dak and Nick Chubb
Yep.
for Zeke and Tony Pollard. And that's when
right.
Tony Pollard was, still like, is he going to split carries and whatnot? And so
And I just wanted Pollard for the handcuff. I just wanted Pollard in case Zeke got
And I needed a quarterback.
Yeah.
That's
You
right.
know,
You were
I was playing the waiver wires pretty much all season.
I finished with Derek Carr and Andy Dalton.
Yep.
Hence, I was 11th
Yeah.
place. But I had Haskins on the bench, and I just kept thinking he was going to come in and play better, and he just never did. You know.
Yeah, I was just
But I'm
jumping
sti-
that waiver wire because I think I had
Dynasty, and you guys are talking about
quarterbacks
rookie
hard to come
quarterbacks.
Yeah.
man.
Well, I had luck in that league, and when
Yeah,
the
right.
news
Oh, yeah.
came out with that, it was like, what am I going to do? And
Yeah.
one of my best pickups from that league was Tannehill
Yeah.
Yeah.
because he just
God.
In the league Kenny turned me on to, I had Mahomes. It's
Thank
a
God
one
they
quarterback
lost.
league. I had Mahomes, and right before when he got injured, I picked up Tannehill off waivers and rode him until Mahomes got healthy. And then it was a question of which one do you play?
right, yeah.
Because he was playing so well at the end.
See, that was
Right.
the thing is after that trade that he was just talking about, I picked up Ryan Fitzpatrick. So my
I
trade
rode him in the
basically
Super Bowl,
turned
yeah.
into me. I got Zeke and Fitzpatrick for Chubb and Dak, and then Chubb and Dak took their downturn
Yep.
at that moment. Yeah, it worked
Yeah,
out
they
really
did.
well for me.
They
Yeah.
did do that.
Phrases we never thought we'd utter in 2019.
I rode him to the Super Bowl.
Ryan Tannehill league winner. Ryan Fitzpatrick league winner.
Yeah. Oh,
I just loved how much
Blech.
fun he was having out there, man.
Oh,
he was
my
running that
Lord.
ball hard, with that beard and diving across the end
Yeah.
zone, man.
Yeah.
He just,
I mean,
and
he
said-
was just
said,
playing
"I'm
for fun. That's all he
I'm
was
having
doing."
a good time.
Yeah.
And then when Devontae Adams started, Parker. I do that every time when Devontae Parker came up, and that was just like money in the bank having him. Who's Preston?
Preston Williams.
Williams.
When did
got hurt.
anybody else get burned? I had him, and I
Was
was
he rookie? Was he rookie?
yeah.
He was a rookie.
I was saying, Christina was just talking about losing luck
really
in that
loved
league.
him.
I lost Big Ben in that league.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right.
so I had Big Ben, Dak, and Deshaun were my three quarterbacks, and then all of a sudden I'm down to two, and then I've got to make some moves with fewer quarterbacks than I thought I would have to make those moves with.
Quarterbacks were just a disaster
I
this
couldn't
year.
find one, and I kept thinking Carr's going to come around, surely.
That's what
I
Kenny
do
says
that
every year.
and I never draft him again, and I always end up with him on my team.
Yeah, I've been saying that
magnet
I've been
for
saying that for like 5 years
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, you
Yeah, I
love
think
Derek
you and I
Carr.
talked
He
about
loves
Yeah,
Derek Carr.
I can't quit Derek Carr. I just can't do it.
We have a
Can't
love
do it.
affair. I mean, I'm the same way. I've had
can't do
three
it.
different teams. I had him.
I can't. Do
I mean, he's our quarterback now.
now he is.
when I
He's the
started
biggest
the year, one
quarterback.
leg I
I
had
did
him
the
and
same
Matt
thing
Ryan,
for
I
years with
thought.
Josh Gordon.
Yep.
I could not get off of Josh Gordon for years and years.
You know, my guy for that years ago was Kenny Britt.
Oh,
he was
yeah.
a guy I just couldn't quit him. Like
He had
was,
one good
he'd
year.
show up on a
Yeah.
team. He'd walk onto a team like, oh, I better get him. He had like one good year, right? Oh God.
Who did he have a good year with?
He had a good year with Tennessee.
Rams?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See.
He had a monster
Before the
year,
Rams.
and then he did nothing after that. But he had that one monster year, and he's like, oh, you can't quit him now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like Odell. Like at the one monster year, and everybody's on him, and he hasn't really been the same since.
You know what's funny
yeah.
is we're talking about that. Kenny and I have always talked about it. Some teams have like an identity, like the Chargers. They're gonna blow
DNA.
it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
They always
Yep.
blow it.
Definitely.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sucks about
The
it.
Browns.
Browns,
No matter who you
Chargers.
put on the team.
Organizationally, they're
horrible.
not great. Yeah.
The Jets and the Jets too.
And it all rolls
a lot of
downhill.
teams have
Dude.
these identities.
It all rolls downhill.
Yep.
But for me, there was kind of the Titans have always just been like a bad fantasy team for the past couple years at least. I never had any Mariota.
This year they were pretty good.
This
And
year,
all
not
of a
bad.
sudden, we got Tannehill and Derrick
Derrick
Henry just
Henry,
ruining
yeah.
people's lives.
Dude,
I
how
think
many,
the
how many
only-
times has Corey Davis hurt you?
Yeah.
You have one good game, and you're like, okay, I am good. And you
Corey
start-
Davis is back.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
AJ
he's
Brown?
not.
No.
The only one from the Titans that has been like relevant in fantasy in the last 5 years was been Delaney Walker.
Walker. And
And then he got hurt. And
Oh
then-
yeah.
it hurt me so bad when he went down.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw watch him in preseason. I know it's preseason, but after that injury, he comes in his first game, catches
Did he
the touchdown.
retire?
No, he got hurt.
He was on the sidelines
I
during
mean,
the
is he gonna
playoffs.
play next year?
I don't know.
This is
He's
what,
not going to be on my team.
I was here around.
How old is he?
He's like 35. This is one of the
Yeah.
few years I
He's
can
like Ben
think of.
Watson age, you know.
Yeah, he's old.
So
This is one of the few years I can think of ever where
Tight
all
ends.
32 teams in the NFL had some kind of fantasy relevancy. Usually we're avoiding some team. There's just nobody. Absolutely nobody. But this year, I mean, even Miami.
Nailed
Yeah,
it.
I know, you're right.
we were
35.
starting with Miami being irrelevant. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, Devontae Parker shows
'Cause
up.
Right.
Josh
Fitzpatrick
Rosen
shows
stopped being the
up.
quarterback.
Right. You know, like every team ended up with somebody
Right,
fantasy
and then the
relevant.
Jets.
And the Jets, too.
Redskins.
Who had, anybody have Chris Godwin?
Nope.
I had 2 shares of them.
That,
I had him in one.
did you win those Chris Godwin leagues?
One league, yeah.
Yeah.
The other league, I had him and then Josh Gordon and Robert Woods. But then I was already out of the playoffs by the time Robert Woods came back. It was like
Godwin was a big deal. What about
weird.
let's go Austin Eckler. I know Christina had Austin Eckler.
I got a bone
that's
to pick
Christina's
about
win.
Austin Eckler.
Let's talk about
I did
this
not.
Austin
Because,
Eckler.
this is like a part of a bigger conversation about like PPR. Austin Eckler was such a crazy PPR commodity, but there are games
92
where
catches.
like he didn't football wise. They just threw. Didn't he have 15 catches in one game or something?
Something like that, yeah.
And
It's like-
if you're in a 1 point, I had him at a 1 point per reception, and I just crushed it. Actually, at the end of the year, I was playing him, and you can only play 2 quarterbacks. That's the big fantasy league, big dynasty league I was in, and I played him and Melvin at
the same time,
for the whole
yeah.
last part of the year.
Yeah.
Well, that was last year. You could do that with Kamara and Ingram all year long. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, and I had Singletary and a few other ones, and I was like, these two were just a great combination.
Right.
Eckler had 92 receptions.
Wow.
Golly.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, who's going to be throwing him the ball next year?
Yeah.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady might be.
I'm gonna say Justin Herbert's throwing him the ball next year.
Oh, they're going to draft a
They're gonna
quarterback.
draft a quarterback. How about the tight end league winners? Mark Andrews, Darren Waller. Mark Andrews, 2 championship teams with Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews, I have a very big contention about finding that late tight end. If you find that late tight end, you get an advantage over
Seahawks
everybody.
tight ends were my
Disley.
late tight end this year.
Disley at first.
Disley at first, and then Jacob Hollister.
Yeah, that's it.
Hollister was okay. He was serviceable. But there was, once you got out
He
of
would
the
get
top
me.
five,
He would get me
this
10, 15 points a week, which is, I mean, a tight end. If I can get 10, 15 points a week, I'm thrilled.
They were just serviceable. This is the worst year for tight ends that I can remember.
It was
As
lousy.
far as, past the top 5, it was hit and miss. And at the end, you're
Right.
looking at people like, okay, Jonnu Smith,
Yeah.
people like that, or Hollister.
Austin Eckler had the 10th most receptions in the league this year.
Wow.
That's
There you
awesome.
go.
As a running back.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where's
Christian McCaffrey
yeah.
was number 2.
Yeah.
So he was number 2.
like-
He was number two running back, but
he's
I'm
like
still
the
top
number-
10.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think I might play in non-PPR leagues next year. Because
boy.
it's
Well,
like,
it's fun.
Yeah.
yeah, unless you're going against McCaffrey and Eckler. Like, you
Yeah.
had Eckler this year.
Yeah.
So it's so frustrating to go against them, and it's like you just see their point total go up and up, but the team's terrible and they're losing. And I know it's not fantasy's not real football, but it's like you want to reward the players for doing something great in the game, not catching a pass for -1 yards, and then you gain a point.
Yeah, but
know?
but that's where your drafting comes in. That's where your drafting
Now, look at
strategy
Mixon
comes
with
in.
Cincinnati.
Now, that
at
is-
the end of the year.
Right.
That is
Just give him
something.
the ball.
One rule that I
Yeah,
do
he
like
got
that I
so
have in
many
a different league
receptions.
is you lose points for lost yards. So basically, you get total yards at the end, and it's adjusted for lost yardage plays as well. And
Right.
that makes up for what you're talking about. A
Yeah,
little bit.
but you would still get 0.9 points.
Sure. I mean, yeah. In that one example, you get 0.9 points.
Yeah.
But if you start losing a lot of yards and everything
I
else,
still love
Right, with
PPR. Don't get me
streams.
wrong, but I'm
Exactly.
starting to see where it falls short. in
Half
some
point
ways.
PPR seems to be a
I-
compromise.
That's sort of what I think.
You know?
That was 4 of my leagues was a half point PBR.
yeah.
It just evens the scales
It
a
could
little
be fun,
bit.
though, if you've got Eckler getting a point a game, man.
I know,
Yeah.
I'm,
A point a
I'm all
catch.
for a full point PPR.
I am.
I'm team full point here.
Yeah.
I'm
me too.
not one of these guys
I love
that
it.
feels like fantasy football and real football have to completely correlate. I don't play fantasy football.
No.
Well, so many
to
people
correlate-
are anti-2 quarterbacks. It's
Right,
like,
I mean,
why? You're
if
leaving
that-
all
yeah.
those points on the bench.
I mean, the reality is that if we play in one quarterback leagues and there are 12 quarterbacks on waivers
know.
that you can stream. You almost need to play a super flex league, but you don't
Always.
start 2 quarterbacks in real football.
Right.
But in order to make the fantasy game right, I feel like we do things to try to adjust to make the fantasy game right. It just
It doesn't bother me to see 2 QBs up there. I've been doing that for 10 years in one of my leagues. We've been playing 2 quarterbacks for 10 years.
Right.
And, I mean, it's just like ridiculous to leave those points on the bench.
Yeah.
I
so
think
much fun.
what makes most sense with that is that quarterbacks are so devalued. So
Yeah.
you can just wait till the end of the draft and pick up Lamar Jackson or whoever.
Very
but
true.
if you need 2 QBs,
Dude,
then all of a
it's a
sudden,
different
all right,
thing.
well,
Right.
Yeah.
That's why
Two
that's
they're
why-
ultra valuable.
It's,
Yeah.
Then
it's
they're valuable.
huge value.
I play
then
more.
it's like-
I play more super flex leagues than any leagues. I
then
love
it
that.
creates
league.
some interesting
You don't
strategies.
wanna
Do
end
you
up
get Mahomes and Jackson, or do you pick up,
Right.
Well, I mean, that was my strategy
Derrick
in
Henry.
our dynasty this year. Was I drafted 3 quarterbacks super early in the draft because I wanted to make sure I had 3 good quarterbacks. Then one of them got hurt, and there went my strategy.
You traded the other one.
But yeah,
Yeah,
that was
you
towards,
traded him for
that was
Zeke,
towards the end
though.
of the league, though. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
I don't even remember what quarterback I drafted besides Carr, but I ended up with Dalton somehow. I'm like, oh, no wonder. I just looked at my roster for the first time since the season. My season was over a long time ago.
And
I was like,
so you'll be on the Joe Burrow train. It looks like.
Yeah,
this year,
yeah,
I
dude.
bet. I think
Yeah.
so hey, let's go season long. the season-long edition of Who Crapped the Bed? Did you crap the bed? Did I crap the bed? Did I crap the bed? I did. That's why I said it.
Yeah.
Do we all want to know who crapped the bed?
Crap the bed.
So now I
Why
want to
have
know
rubber sheets?
who won titles.
You guys are laughing like it's the first time you ever heard the song.
It probably is, Christina.
Come on, guys.
To hear it
It's
in
not.
person is just
It's
inspiring.
It's
different.
overwhelming.
It's overwhelming.
I am very upset that you guys are laughing at this song.
Christina, when'd you get here?
I won my dynasty league.
It little sounds a little bit like Ralph Wiggum. Oh, now listen, boy. You got to calm down over there a little bit.
I yell about everything. I'm Christina.
I'm Italian, that's why.
I'm from Philly.
Oh, I'm out of here.
It might be my favorite character I've ever done.
Good character. Yeah.
Yeah.
You should go Dasher with that character.
I think so.
I should make the other podcast.
Yeah.
It is a little Ralph Wiggum-ish, though.
It is. Well, if you listen to my other shows, that is my only impression voice. That is my voice for every impression. I'm not an impressions guy.
So your De Niro is very similar. Then.
Yeah.
I'm Robert De Niro. You're talking to me. You're talking to me.
Yeah, all of my impressions start with them introducing themselves.
That's right.
Just so you know who it
reason.
is.
Oh man.
What were we talking about?
I got 9
Kenny
players.
crapped in the bed.
Yeah, we all crapped the bed. I got 9
me.
players that if you drafted them and won, I give you props. If you found a way to win, Baker Mayfield.
I had both of our top 2 in my league that I won.
Baker Mayfield.
I had
huh?
Baker and
the next
Juju.
one's gonna be Juju.
Yeah, I had
Yeah.
both of them and managed to pull that win out.
I did not win a single Juju league, and I was all over Juju in the preseason, and Juju killed me.
Well, Juju is who I ended up trading in my dynasty league to get Dak.
There you go.
Let me say, as far as the Baker thing, I was in a keeper league where you can keep one player, from can't keep two quarterbacks or whatever. And I kept my keepers were, and I could have kept Tom Brady, but I kept Baker Mayfield because he had such a good year at the end of last year.
I thought he was going to.
And I kept Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah,
Oh, the stack.
Your two
not,
keepers
right?
when you start off. That was.
yeah.
I mean, how do you start off worse?
I don't hate it. I mean, I wouldn't have hated it at the beginning of the year.
At the beginning of
At
the
the
year, I thought it
beginning,
was going to be
right.
brilliant
Yeah.
all day, double points.
I'm looking down the list. I had 3 players on your list here in my league.
Well, I'm going. Let's go down. We have
Yeah.
Baker, obviously.
Yes.
Juju.
I had him in
Juju
one league.
crapped the bed because Ben went out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Sure.
that's the reason too.
I'm not, and there's no doubt, but he still crapped the bed,
Yeah.
and he still was a early second round pick.
So here's the question: Will
Might be
Juju be
good-
back
good
next
pick
year?
next
That's
year.
the
Yeah.
question.
Is he going to be a monster again next year, or if the Steelers, if they transition?
I think it depends on
It
Ben,
depends
isn't it?
on,
Yeah.
to me, if Ben comes back, and also
if he's
depends on
healthy.
development of a second wide receiver.
Yeah.
Because it feels like if Juju's got to deal with double teams, he may not be this guy. Now
mean,
they have
Juju
Deontay
was-
Johnson.
Well, they got some people. Deontay Johnson.
looks
They
good.
got some good
Yeah.
people around him, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Juju was great when Antonio Brown still played
Washington,
for the
James
Steelers.
James Washington, yeah.
And Brown went down for like what was it, 6 weeks or so a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah.
And Juju was the number 1 guy. He crushed.
He did.
Well, I think now that what happened with him going down, the Steelers found some other little gems.
Right.
And I think when you have James Washington, Juju, and you have Deontay all lined up at the same time next year with Ben back, that's going to be a different thing.
Yeah.
Plus they had the inconsistencies in the backfield too.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
Connor was going in and out,
and they need a
then-
tight end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't
And
make the playoffs, did they?
No,
No,
but
they got knocked out by Tennessee.
They got close though, which
Yeah,
is
they
amazing.
did.
Yeah, it's amazing that they made.
All they
it.
had to do was win one of the
no.
last 2 games or one of the last
think
3
last
games.
3, yeah.
and they would have been in, and they didn't.
Oh, did they lose the last
Yeah.
years?
Is Ben going to be healthy enough to start week 1?
That's what you.
I think he will be. It seems
What
like
was
he will
his
be.
injury again? Was it hand or?
I think his leg fell off.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. I remember that.
Elbow.
Yeah.
It was,
His elbow
it
fell
was
off.
something to do with his elbow.
Yeah.
But your elbow's connected to your leg, so
Right.
Yeah.
Christina and I had a bet earlier in the year about who was going to be our big crap the bed choice. You beat me, but we were both right on this. I said that the biggest bed crapper of the year was going to be Odell Beckham Jr.
Okay.
And and Christina said that the biggest bed crapper of the year was going to be Antonio Brown. So you
Okay.
win, obviously, because Antonio Brown was horrible.
But
win
my
one
gosh,
game.
how much different do you think the Raiders are if he doesn't freak out and he's on that team with Derek Carr? And I mean, I think the Raiders may be in the playoffs if he's.
Or he destroys them.
Yeah,
because
or they're much
he's
worse.
such a head case, and they're actually
Right.
worse.
Right.
And I thought I heard on the radio on the way over here there's some new scandal with him going
He
down.
is now being investigated for battery.
Yeah.
So
In
I
Florida.
didn't
have
catch what
seen-
it was. I just said police
this,
are...
this might be the very last we ever speak about Antonio Brown in
yeah.
terms of a football.
There's also some
fantasy.
burglary charge I
Yeah.
thought
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
pending.
I think we'll keep hearing about him, but he's not going to play in the NFL.
No.
He's gonna stay
Why
in
would you
the
just-
media
that's
because
just-
he's him.
I
Yeah.
was
He's just gonna do
terrified when
something
the
new
Saints,
and
the
outlandish.
Saints gave him a tryout. I'm a big Saints fan. The Saints
Yes.
gave him a tryout, and I was really
I'm sure
worried
you
about
were.
that.
Yeah, I would have been too.
I was like,
man.
let's not sign that guy.
He makes T.O. look like an angel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Tio.
This is a legitimate conversation about CTE, though. Like, he's got brain damage. There's no.
Oh, yeah,
he's
there's
not
no
a
way he-
rational
yeah.
thinking
Yeah.
human.
No. He's got there's some
I'll tell you-
bipolarism or
I hope
something.
I hope
that
he has
was
brain
triggered.
damage. I hope
Yeah.
that's brain damage. If that's not brain damage, then it's
Yeah.
Then what's
then
the
it's even
excuse?
more horrifying.
Has
Yeah.
he been like this his whole career?
No.
Okay. Well, then that. Yeah.
Maybe the last 3 years. Is
Right,
something
right,
There's
right.
that
That's-
one hit. There's
Took
that
a hit
one-
for. They're talking about the fact that since the perfect hit
Vontae.
that
Right.
knocked him out, that he hasn't been the same.
And I
But,
mean,
you know,
you watch
but-
slow motion of it, like his neck gets 90 degrees the wrong direction.
right. But CTE is not something you can prove until he's dead. So
Right.
it's like it's
Yeah, you
impossible.
have to do the autopsy on the brain.
Did y'all see the? If any of y'all,
Hernandez.
the-
I watched some of the
Aaron Hernandez. I'm
thing.
on the last episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Pretty
I
incredible.
haven't watched it yet.
Amazing that so how tragic. Seau when he killed himself, shot himself in the chest. So the
Save
people
his
could
brain, yeah.
people could study that. I mean, what a
Yeah.
tragic thing. But he was that serious about.
I guess in reality, Hernandez did the same because he hung himself.
Yeah, I guess so.
it's
You know what? That could be.
leave his
That
brain
could
the
be a.
same.
I don't know if that comes out. I haven't watched the last episode yet. Did you watch them all, Kenny?
I have not watched them all. I heard the
Just three
Titanic sinks at the end. That's all I heard. Yes.
did
Not
learn-
the
I did
spoiler
learn a
though.
lot.
Sorry about that.
Spoiler
Yeah.
alert.
I thought
Yeah.
he was just a real like low life scumbag, but there's a lot more to the story actually.
Oh, it's pretty
Yeah.
interesting.
I mean, he still is a murderer, but
Yeah.
there's much.
I
more to
recommend
it.
seeing it. It'll kind of open your eyes to some stuff.
It's interesting.
It's
Yeah.
very, very interesting what
Yeah.
all that went down.
Yeah.
So,
And there was actually a whole part. He asked the Patriots for a trade, and they denied it. But one of the reasons he wanted to be traded is because he grew up in Connecticut,
Yep.
near where the Patriots play. So he was hanging around these other lowlifes.
That's what
And
they
he
were
said,
worried
I got to
about
get
him
out of
going
this
home, yeah.
situation. Trade me to a West Coast team, so I'm not around these influences. And Robert Kraft said, you got to be out of your mind.
Yeah.
You're a superstar. You just won the Super Bowl.
Which you
for us."
probably, I would have said. The
Yeah. But that's a bad look for the Patriots again.
Yeah.
Shocked.
Patriots with a bad look.
Oh,
I'm shocked.
I don't think that's a bad look for the Patriots. Not trading one of your superstars because he can't get his act
But
together.
the fact that he reached out and said, "Hey, man, I have problems. I can't live here."
I mean,
they said, "No, you have to live
The
here."
only thing that I would say would be a bad look is if you went to them, said, "Please trade me." They're not going to. Great, set me up with some kind of system.
Yeah,
And
help me out.
if he had asked a further, a follow up, if he had a follow up request, then I'd be able to blame the Pats. But I can't blame the Pats for everything.
Why not?
Why not? Are there any Patriots fans in this room right now?
No.
All right,
I don't have a
good.
problem
Yeah,
with
blame the Patriots for everything.
Who spies on the Bengals?
Oh God.
I believe the answer
even
is
the Scouts.
I believe the answer is the Houston Astros.
Ouch. Oh boy.
There you go.
and the Red Sox.
That's a mic drop right there for Jake.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah. Here's a guy. He's kind of like the what do we do with him next year guy, and this is Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
Now Joe Mixon,
I know what I'm going to do.
first
with it.
half of the year, if you drafted Joe Mixon, first half of the year, you died.
Yeah.
Because by the time he got good, I had a team that finished 6-7 with Joe Mixon on it.
Yep.
It started 1-6.
Yeah.
Right? So like I stunk, but finally Joe Mixon gets going and it gets
Yep.
and it climbs toward the end
I
of the year.
kept,
But like
I kept plugging
late.
him in. You just could not.
you
not
can't
put
not
him in.
play
Right.
him.
And
It's like
that's-
Odell Beckham. You can't put him on the bench,
Yes.
man.
Right? So Mixon's a guy
mean,
that now if
I
you-
wanted to so bad.
He's going to go off.
If you traded for Mixon, then you
course.
did pretty well. But but if you drafted him, you screwed. So now next year, what are you doing with Mixon?
I'm not drafting him.
Okay.
Let's go around the room. What are we doing?
What are we doing?
Yeah.
All right, let's say
Christina
let's
says no,
say
clearly.
I mean, we're gonna go draft him and pass him later, but let's do this. Joe Mixon, early second round. Yes. Christina Shaw.
I can't do it because he burned me.
Early second. Okay.
All right.
No.
Early second's where he's gonna go. Tom.
I'd do early second for
Early second for Joe
Did
Mixon.
you have
yes?
him?
Huh? No. I
Okay.
did not.
I did. I drafted him all day, early second.
And
All
now
day.
next year, Buck, early
Next year.
second.
I would, absolutely.
You're in. Jake.
You give him to me like early seventh. I think I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. Like,
So you're out.
if he falls to me like 7th round, I'll take him.
You're out.
Yeah.
Steve.
Yeah, I'm definitely in. I like to value a player's talent. And
There you go.
He's talented.
That's
guy.
exactly the way I look at it. They're
Right.
going to feed him the ball.
And the way
How many leagues did you guys win
Gio
this year?
player on the team?
Bernard was
Yeah.
non-existent the whole
he got
year.
into the playoffs.
Because they know Mixon's good.
All right.
I had him in 2 leagues.
I
Yeah.
made the finals in a
I did
Mixon
too.
league.
And I'll tell you,
I did too.
I'm in, and I'll tell you what, Joe Burrow's quarterback in this team next year, which
yeah.
is what it looks like.
All of a sudden, they could be good.
They could be very good.
And he's going to be dumping that ball
And,
off
he-
the
and if
safety
they fix,
valve.
and if they fix their
go.
offensive
PPR.
line, I think
If
you
you
want-
and AJ Green.
That's it. Yeah.
If you watch a
You
Joe
know it's
Mixon
gonna-
highlight reel,
yeah,
he's a talented
No,
guy.
he's a dude. He's a dude.
He's a baller.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Where did it go wrong for him in the
The
beginning
team
of the year?
sucked.
The team,
Bengals
well,
were so
the
bad.
offensive
Nothing
line,
else.
the offensive line was bad. He was bad. He got hurt in week 1. If you remember that, he got hurt right
Yeah.
off the bat. So you have a combination of a bad team. He gets hurt.
They lost
Offensive
Boyd,
line
too.
is bad. AJ Green doesn't play.
Yeah.
And then by the time he got going and the team got going, then it was like week 8, and then he really got going. He was fantastic.
I mean, got going. They
was
They
unbelievable.
put the ball in his hands, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, thank God I
Interesting
held
to
on
know.
him.
Even when they were losing, they were still handing it off.
yeah, absolutely. And he's he's
Way behind.
Which
He
is
was still getting
usually
the ball.
not
No.
the case. You know?
you can't deny
He's
talent.
definitely their workhorse.
Yeah.
Like
And I think you're right. I think Burrow, and there you go.
There
What do you
go.
think, Jacob? Maybe in the 6th round you take him?
6th round. Yeah,
Did we
maybe.
change
All right,
it? Did
maybe
we
we
change
can
your
change
mind?
You might have got me up to 6.
Yeah.
Did we convince you at all?
All right.
And the thing, I mean, you're talking about Joe Burrow. I'm a big LSU fan. I've been watching Joe Burrow all year and all last year. He's not a big dump it off to the wide receiver or to the running back guy.
That's what I mean.
No, I'm saying he's not a
But
dump
he's
it off to the
gonna,
running back
but
guy.
he will if he's got a. As we
He's
all
gonna be
know, that
shaking
game's
in
so
his
much.
boots.
I think
NFL's a lot
first of all,
different than the
yes,
college.
but first of all, I think he's
Sure.
probably one of the, if not the best, college quarterback I've ever seen
Yep.
going into the draft. But
He's the
but
closest
yeah,
thing to a
but
sure
it's-
thing
but
to
it
we've seen a
also-
quarterback
we
in the
thought-
draft in a long
but
time.
but it moves. What's that?
He's the closest thing we've seen to a sure thing at
Oh,
quarterback
yes.
in a long time.
Without a doubt. But the game moves so fast that
Yep.
you just never know how these guys are
Oh,
going to
yeah.
react. You
Sure.
know? And if you got if it's that safety valve, oftentimes really helps those young quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Like Dalton. Dalton would throw it off to Le'Veon Bell a lot. That's why Le'Veon Bell did anything, because he was catching the ball out of the backfield.
Right.
Let's talk about David Johnson.
Okay,
Oh,
calm
Mixon.
down.
David Johnson.
David Johnson and
anybody-
Joe Mixon are my two that I will not draft.
Anybody?
draft David
Did anybody
Johnson.
win a league with David Johnson this
Nope.
year?
Nope. My 10th place finish was when I got
Nationwide.
forced to draft David Johnson.
Year before he was my first round pick, he went down. I said, I'll never.
All right.
Yeah.
He had this
So-
one game
What,
against the
wrist injury
Eagles.
that
So I'm
year?
gonna I'm gonna give
You
you
remember this?
I'm
Wrap
gonna
it up.
I'm gonna give you one hypothetical here. David Johnson gets bought out and he becomes a Tampa Bay Buck with Mr. Bruce Arians.
Then I'm taking him.
You're
Then
in,
I want him. Yeah.
right?
I want him on a different team.
You're in. Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be a Cardinal next year.
I don't think so.
think
Yeah,
he'd be
I think Kenyon Drake's gonna be the Cardinal next
Yeah.
year.
Arians just. I think
You know
he's
what's
gonna be
interesting to me,
That'll be
though?
interesting.
Go ahead, Tom.
Look at these players that got away from Adam Gase.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Adam Gase, when he was the head coach of the Dolphins,
Yep.
had Kenyon Drake, Ryan Tannehill, and Devontae Parker. And look what
Yep.
all three of those guys
and Damian Williams.
and Damian Williams.
I didn't really. Wow.
And
I
look
forgot
what
about
happens
Damian
when they
Williams.
get away from him.
Yep.
And look what happened to the Jets.
Oh, my
Yes.
gosh.
And speaking of that,
Yeah.
how about my
That's a
boy
good
Le'Veon
observation.
Bell?
The bell cow.
Yeah, that's what I'm sorry. I brought it up.
That's all right. Le'Veon Bell. So
Yeah.
I
I thought he was very functional. He did well for me in most leagues, not this one, but unfortunately, I had him and Derek Carr. So what do you say?
Bell wasn't as bad as you think.
he wasn't as
He
bad.
wasn't like
he
a
was.
first
Here's the
round
thing.
value,
He's
but-
not
No.
first round value, but he definitely he definitely did not return what you thought he was going to return.
Absolutely.
789 yards, 3.2 yards a carry, and 3 touchdowns on the season.
And
Four
the
touchdowns.
3.2 yards a carry.
Three rushing touchdowns and one receiving.
Yep.
And here's the thing. Sometimes it's the eye test. You look at a guy. The guy has no burst at all. Like you look at a guy like Kenyon Drake, who like first foot, he's out the door.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Even Derrick Henry. Right?
talking
And then you
about
look at
Le'Veon?
and
Yeah.
Bell's got nothing.
And
He's old.
Bell's
And he's
like
gonna be
he's always been
28.
a patient.
He's a
back.
floater.
He's going to be 28 this
He
coming
floats,
season.
man. That's what makes
like
him
a-
magical. He just kind of floats.
Yeah, it's
He
not
waits
his
for an
style.
I've never
opportunity.
seen
He's
anybody
not
else that does it. Nobody else runs like
people
that.
try to run.
Yeah.
Like
And-
he created that almost.
I agree.
And the coach doesn't want him.
That's the
So-
big thing. Gase didn't.
Yeah.
He like
Yeah.
said from
He got
week
Adam
one.
Gase.
He still got some. He
got
got
Gase.
something in the tank.
I think
Oh, wait,
Le'Veon.
we've
He has
said
been
that before.
gased. We've said it's our
We've
phrase.
said
He's
this.
been gased. Exactly.
Where does Le'Veon play next year?
I haven't. You know,
I think he is. I don't know
his
what his
contract.
contract
I don't
is.
think his contract is enable him to be traded.
No, I think
he's stuck
the
as
Jets-
He's gonna have to be released if he's gonna play somewhere.
Right.
else.
But I don't think the Jets lose out on too much if they release him.
Well,
It's not like
that's
they have
it.
to pay
I
a
don't
cap it.
That's
So,
it.
which is
I'd
why
let
I
him
think
go.
they might do it.
Yeah. Well,
But who's going to pick him up? And
And
will
pay him.
he?
Pittsburgh
That's the thing is, will
the
he play
Pittsburgh
for
Steelers.
That would
for
be
what
amazing.
teams will pay him?
yeah.
I don't know.
Interesting.
I think he might end up. I think it might end up being a case if the Jets release him, which I think they should. Then I think it might end up being a case of him going into the season not on a team, and he'll be a midseason pickup
Yeah.
for somebody.
I hadn't heard that, but
possible.
it's
That's
possible.
possible.
If the
I'm
Jets
thinking of
drop
all
him,
the
I could see
lineups
that
right
happening
now and
easily.
seeing where he would fit in.
Could be the
It's- yeah.
RB5 on the Patriots.
I don't think there's a market for running backs.
That's the
out
thing
there.
is, I mean, if he's going to get picked up, people are going to be offering him the veteran minimum. You know, I mean,
He doesn't have a high stock right
I don't
now.
think he's going to play for $5 million a season. I don't think he's going to sign a contract for that,
no.
and especially a 1-year deal.
Go back to his rap career.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Yeah, he
Oh, yeah.
released an album.
Did.
Oh, Falcons. I
It
wouldn't
wasn't
mind
the
having
worst
him.
thing I'd ever heard.
Would you take? Wait, Mr. Falcon? Would you take Le'Veon Bell?
I wouldn't mind having him. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Devontae Freeman's hurt all the time.
Yeah.
Who do the Falcons
And,
have?
Well, now you don't
We
have
got him.
Exactly.
We got Edo
don't have
Smith. We have
Coleman.
Ollison.
Yeah, you don't have Coleman anymore.
No, that and
Brian
we got
Hill.
rid of the wrong coach, obviously.
Right. Oh my God.
But
Falcons
yeah,
are a weird team because they
it's
put up so
weird.
many
We-
points
dude,
some weeks.
The defense was, I don't know what happened to the defense. Ed Quinn is supposed to be a defensive guy, and we had virtually the same defense, in my opinion, better than what went to the Super Bowl. We won't talk about the second half, but what we did in the first half.
Yeah.
But the you know, we got everybody healthy and just didn't show up till the second half of the season. But I do like Ollison. I think you know, I picked him up. Let me ask you guys this. Here's an interesting thing to think about. Who did you pick? Who did you draft in the dynasty league last year as just a stash? Did you get somebody that you knew wasn't going to serve you this year?
Yes.
That you just thought I'm going to hang on to?
I have two:
Who were they?
Kareem Hunt and Justice Hill.
Who was the second?
Kareem Hunt and Justice Hill.
Yeah.
Justice Hill, the backup running back for the Ravens.
Yep.
That was my guy. I was like, he's not. And I
think
drafted.
that's great.
I drafted Hawkinson, thinking he was going to be this year,
Yeah.
but he's going to be next year. I'm okay
Yeah.
with that.
I've
Now,
got
you're-
Kenyon Drake and Mike Gesicki.
Gesicki.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
I got.
But you have Gesicki in that.
Oh, in
No,
Dynasty.
differently, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, who
yeah.
did you?
Whatever,
Who did
yeah.
you stash that you knew you weren't going to probably play this year?
Gesicki, and well, I mean, I had to stash him because he
Yeah.
got hurt, but Darius Geis.
Right.
Who?
Yeah.
Darius Geis.
You didn't draft guys to be a stash. But he
Right,
became a
but
stash.
he became a stash.
Yeah.
Which
Who
was
did you draft, Tom?
frustrating.
I don't.
Did you stash anybody that you just?
I
didn't want
think
to-
I did. They're just there right now. I can't see my lineup right now. If somebody can bring that up, and I can see. But I know Drew Lock was going to be my stash, but then he got hurt in the beginning, so he ended up being a stash
Yeah.
anyway because I kept him throughout the whole season.
For Dynasty, they're all stashes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But somebody like for example, Arcega Whiteside. I knew there was no way he was starting this year, but he's got so much talent, and I know all the guys on that team are old. Jeffries is old. You know, and
Even
you
though
can
he
see
signed
they're
for
all
this.
hurt already.
Yeah.
He came in and didn't do so much there at the end of the year, but I think with an off season, I mean, I think he's got the tools. So
could
he
be
was
the
good
guy.
enough that I took him at the end, and I also took Kadri Ollison. Just because he's such a big running back in Atlanta, Edo
He
Smith
scored a bunch of
blows.
touchdowns, I think.
What's that?
Ollison scored a couple touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, he came in at the end of the year because Edo Smith got hurt, and then we lost, and then Devontae, who we always know is going to get hurt.
he's
you know,
always hurt.
always gets hurt. But I think he could end up getting some carries next year. I mean, he's a big running back, and he's one of those ground and pound guys that I think's fun to bring in, and then put the speedster in afterwards. And
I
I
mean,
think that the
in our
Falcons
dynasty,
want to pass, though.
what? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Falcons
But
like
that's
pass.
what loses. That's why we
They're
lost the Super Bowl.
They're the highest. They're the highest
I
passing
mean, on
team
the
in the league.
22-yard line, and he
Yeah.
throw the ball
Believe
3
it.
times. It's
Yeah.
like.
In our dynasty league, I've got Juju stashed. And again, I mean, like, not
Probably not planned that way though.
Right.
Some-
same with
someday
Geis.
he'll be-
He's
Tom,
my
you
first round pick.
Tom, you
Someday he'll
drafted
be good again.
you drafted Hollywood Brown.
I did.
That's your guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
Yeah.
a good
And
one.
then
And I
had-
think Steve, you drafted Miles
not
Sanders
gonna
thinking
be
he wasn't going to be a
good
thing
years.
this year, and he turned
My
into a
team's so
thing late in the
bad.
year.
Yeah.
You know?
I
Steve
was
will
just
win
trying.
this year next year. Steve will win this league next year.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to change it to this year once we start again.
Oh, okay.
And then
That's his team name.
my
if
team
you guys
name is
didn't know.
Steve will win next year.
You know who was a rough one this year that played so well and then just died off, and then you just didn't know where to play. And I rode him for 2 or 3 weeks. Was Tyler Lockett? Did anybody get burned?
Oh, yeah,
besides
yeah.
Oh,
me
yeah.
with Tyler
Toward the
Lockett?
end of the year.
I traded Lockett early in the season in my big league and ended up crushing a team with that trade. Ended up crushing the team that I traded him to with that single
He
trade.
played so good for a while and then just fell off the map.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So many, a lot of players
Russell
were
Wilson
like that
fell
this
off
year.
too.
Yeah.
He was so hot in the
Just-
beginning of
yeah.
this
Isn't that-
season.
I think
That's
he had a
why
couple
this year
like
was so
40
weird.
point 40-point week. I think he has like 2 of the top 5 finishes
Yeah.
of any quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's got like
then
5.
And that's what padded his stats for this year.
He
was
carried
his
me
first
out
half.
early in the year, and then he
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
gone
A
down.
lot of that was
And
going
that's
on.
exactly what you don't want in fantasy. Like
No.
the inconsistency.
Dude, I'd rather have 10 or 15 points. A good Godwin was the same way.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
really good, and then
He was like the wide receiver 2 for a while. I think he might have been number 1. He might have been the best
he was doing-
fantasy receiver
Godwin?
for the first
Yeah.
like, half
Yeah,
of the
he
year.
was.
With
Yeah,
him
a few
and
more
Evans together
Oh.
was great, and then Evans got hurt, and
damn.
So
It's done.
frustrating though.
Yeah.
Like I had Mike Evans in a couple leagues,
think-
and he had donuts some weeks.
Yeah.
Literally
Yeah, yeah.
0
So did-
points.
so did
I'm
Tyler
like,
Lockett.
what is going
Yeah.
on?
Put up a 23 and then put up a 0. I mean, not even a catch.
Yeah.
Crazy.
2 or 3 weeks.
Anybody win with Kamara this year?
I did.
My big league won with Kamara.
But
He
you've
turned
had Kamara for a long time. In
This
that
is my
league.
third league.
Right,
my
that's
third
a
year having him.
dynasty.
Yep.
Right.
But he came on. You talk about coming on at the right time. My last 3 weeks with him, 16, 17, he scored 29 points and 20 points.
Yeah.
In that league for me on the 2 weeks that it counted.
Yeah.
And also, like you talk about team, like how many total yards did Alvin Kamara have this year?
How many what?
How many total yards did Alvin Kamara have? I
You
pulled this
know-
up just for.
What is
I
it?
was looking ahead.
Yeah, what do you have?
You want to guess? You want to
Yeah.
say over under what?
He
900?
was just about 1,000, if I remember right.
1330.
He had
Yeah,
1,330 yards.
1330 yards and six touchdowns.
That's where you got burned.
receiving and
the 6
rushing.
touchdowns is where you got
that's
killed.
a-
Because he had 16
from the year
he had
before.
16
yeah.
a year before.
Right,
Yep.
but he was also
So-
out for what?
Yeah, he
4
got hurt.
weeks.
He missed 2 games.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought it was more than that, but whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, 14 games he played.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
But he
Yeah, I
also had 81 reception yards or
Right.
reception points too.
Yeah.
But that's always been a Kamara thing, though.
It's
Like,
still
that
it's
dual threat.
you know,
That's still high for a
Yeah.
running back.
I had a hard time with my Kamara leagues this year. I drafted
Yeah,
Kamara.
me
I
too.
drafted Kamara over McCaffrey in a couple
Yep.
leagues.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you and I had that conversation early in the season,
Yeah.
or at the draft time.
Yep.
I thought Kamara was going to have a better year this year than McCaffrey
Yeah, me too.
because
We
I
all
thought we were
did.
going to see Kamara like Kamara was in that first 4 weeks last year when Mark Ingram was suspended.
Yeah, because he wasn't on the team anymore.
Right.
Right. But no, I'm saying exactly. When Ingram is now gone and we got Latavius Murray coming in, Kamara's just going to take over. He's just going to be the guy, and it just wasn't. And then he got hurt. And,
I think he'll be a good value next year. Could probably
yeah.
get him
Probably.
late in the
Yeah.
first or early second, around kind of Joe Mixon area.
You mean the 6th
eye
or the
roll.
7th?
Yeah, get him in the season.
Joe Mixon.
Did anybody draft OJ Howard?
I did.
Oh my
boy.
God, I had so much.
Tom, tell
That's
us
so
tell
much
us
O.J.
tell us about your
Howard.
OJ Howard experience, Tom.
Oh my goodness, that guy! I was like, oh, cool. He's gonna come in. He's a great,
Me too.
tight end 5 or 6 that he was supposed to be, and then he did nothing.
You would have been better.
because
You would have been better with
Yeah.
Ron Howard.
yeah, because Bruce Arians comes
He would
in,
have had more receptions.
and Bruce Arians doesn't throw to the tight end.
No.
But I was
absolutely.
thinking, but it's OJ Howard. He's big, athletic. He's more of a big wide receiver than a tight end.
Yeah.
the worst.
Did not use him
There was
at
one
all.
game where
Same thing, man.
Cameron Brate had like 10 receptions.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
frustrating.
that's a tight end that
Yeah.
got thrown to on
Yeah.
the Bucks.
He only had 1 touchdown
Yeah.
all year.
Did he?
Yeah.
That's it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But you had
I
to
would
play
have
him.
never.
I drafted.
That
You had
would be
to
the
play him.
biggest
I played
bust.
7 leagues. I
that
think I
is
had him in
among
4
the
of them.
biggest
Yeah.
busts of the year.
That was
I
like
think
my
I had
worst-
4 out
my
of the
worst
6.
decision.
Yeah,
He's
4 out of
one
the
for
6 was.
for him. I hope Tampa lets him go.
Yeah.
If he was on the Patriots,
Oh my god! That's
gosh.
what I thought
I'm
about that all
really
year.
surprised they
Because there
didn't
was
go
a
after
rumor
him.
that that
they-
he wanted to trade, or
Oh,
they
was
wanted
it?
to trade for him.
Right.
And I was like, let him
we
go.
read the same
Yeah.
reports. That's why. I'm like, I did read that.
I was like, let him go, please. He's still on my bench. Let him go to the Patriots.
Oh, 'cause, like if the Patriots picked him up, if New Orleans had picked him
Yeah.
up, like if any of the big tight end throwing teams had picked him up, it'd just be a beast.
Again, because he's an
Well, Jared
athlete.
Cook was
He's
pretty
a great
serviceable,
athlete.
though.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Cook
Yeah.
was great. I mean, Saints were
But
fine
if he
on,
would have
on
had
tight
both of
end.
them,
Yeah.
that's
But
nasty.
Jared Cook the first half of the year was nothing. Then
No,
he came
no.
on. Second half he was terrific.
I drafted him
Yeah.
in 2 leagues, and I loved him. I thought he was
Yeah.
great.
That's just because the tight end
I let him go
landscape is
too
so
early.
bad.
Oh, it's so bad.
I've heard there's some leagues where you don't have to play a tight end. You can. It's just another flex spot. So
almost-
if you have one of those guys you want to play, if you want to play
Yeah.
Kittle, you can. But then
Right.
That's interesting because there's really only
So there's
5
2 flex
serviceable-
I agree.
Yeah.
There's
I
definitely
like
not
that.
12.
The rest
I
of
like
them,
that
no,
you
it's
have
not
to, I like
12.
that you have to play a tight end.
I mean, I was playing
It changes the strategy.
I want to
for
make
sure.
you play a tight end.
Yeah, like you're forced to do something you don't want to
Even
do.
Kittle wasn't playing great at the end of the year.
I mean, this
I made
last
him-
The
weekend,
best tight
Kittle
ends in
did
the
nothing.
league are up and down.
If you were if you were in a playoff league and you picked
Not
Kittle,
Kelsey. He's
you've
always
done
up.
nothing.
Well,
You've
yeah.
done nothing.
Well, that's the thing. Tight end now it's Kelsey
and
and
Mark
everyone
Andrews.
else.
Andrews always did real well.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I
But even the Ravens
he
had a
wasn't
couple.
Kelsey by any means, but
Didn't they have a couple?
The Ravens have like 6 tight ends.
Yeah.
Well, I
played
think
all 6 of
Hayden
them.
Hurst needs to be on. He could be a starter on any
Hayden
team in the
Hurst.
league.
Yeah.
Any team in the league.
I'll give you a name for next year to keep an eye on. Jay Sternberger.
Yeah,
Oh, he
Packers.
just scored a.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
Keep an eye with him.
Yeah.
he
Keep
might
an
have
eye
been
with
one.
him next
He was one of the. I mean, Penn State, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like him.
A lot of Penn Staters. I went to Penn State.
Ooh,
so,
did you really? I'm an Auburn boy. War Eagle.
yeah?
Only ones that got close to beating you guys.
Yep.
Close,
Are
but
you
no
big-
cigar.
are you big
Mark
Cam
Andrews
Newton fan?
had 8 weeks. Mark Andrews had 8 weeks this
I
year
like
in
him more
single
than most
digits.
people.
8 weeks in
8
single
weeks in
digits.
single digits. Mark Andrews
But
this year.
but other
Is that
other
right?
8?
Oh no, he was usually in the 20s.
Right.
The other 8 weeks he was he fluctuated between mid-teens to mid-20s.
We're talking Andrews.
Mark Andrews. Yeah.
I'm saying like that's one of the better tight ends for the year.
Absolutely.
And he's
Great
got
for me.
and half the season, more than half the season, he's not doing very well for you.
That's just how it is.
And that's
I
that's
was
not
happy-
counting the week 17
And
against
those are
Pittsburgh when he
bonus
didn't play.
points for
Yeah.
tennis tight ends, man. Unless you draft Kelsey early or somebody like that, those are bonus points.
Right.
Because I got him in like the 11th, 10th round.
Making
and
me
some,
depressed.
I picked him up off waivers after the first week.
Yeah,
Shock.
I mean,
All right.
Thanks.
Well,
Steve
let's get to waivers.
Over
and we'll
tight
talk.
ends,
We'll talk
yes.
about a big tight end as a big waiver pickup. Now, waivers, I thought this year stunk all
Yes.
year long, and then we get finally toward the playoffs, and Higbee is a big deal. Perriman's a big deal.
Yep.
AJ Brown's a big deal.
Washington.
So who is your best? Who is your best waiver pickup of the year? Christina Shaw.
DeAndre Washington.
Oh yeah.
He
For the
got.
playoffs.
I think he had 3 like monster games.
He was a
that I
good.
used.
He was one of the few handcuffs when Josh Jacobs went out that he actually did something.
Oh,
Yeah.
DeAndre
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Washington.
DeAndre
DeAndre
Washington. That's a good one.
Washington.
That's a good one. Tom.
Terry McLaurin.
There you go.
You mean
you
you
got him
didn't,
off waivers?
you didn't
did.
draft him?
No.
Of course not. No one knew who he was.
Yeah, exactly. And then I started seeing the games, and I even told Kenny during the season, I was like, look out for this guy.
Yep.
And I picked him up, and then he was just great
I drafted him
when
in
Case
the
Keenum
NFC.
was in.
Yep. Yep.
Because when Haskins was in,
Yes. No. And Haskins is in. That was a bit of a mess.
yeah.
Bucky.
You mean in our league?
any waiver pickup? Who was your biggest waiver pickup of the year?
I was looking at our league. I'm like, I didn't have one. Like
Right.
Jacob Hollister.
It was a rough.
maybe.
It was rough. It was rough on waivers
Hollister
this
is
year.
bad.
It was very rough.
I mean, I can't
Dynasty's
really
a
think
different
off the top of
beast,
my
man.
head right
Yeah.
now who I picked up. Probably Tannehill.
Yeah. There you go.
Let's say Tannehill.
That's a good
Oh,
one.
that's
Yeah.
a huge one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Jake.
And in our dynasty league, John Brown in Buffalo, I got
He's
him
a
off
waivers?
Yep,
Wow. That's
sure
weird.
it was. And then I
Sure
got Kenyon Drake in another one.
That's
And
great.
so somebody dropped Kenyon Drake in a
Yes.
league. Wow.
Someone
That's
dropped
a gift.
Kenyon Drake the week before he got traded,
There you go.
and
Yeah.
I snagged him the next day, and I was like, no, he's getting traded. He's mine.
I feel like I was the one that dropped John Brown for some reason.
Maybe.
Because I think I had him and Cole Beasley, and then I decided to go with Cole instead. But John Brown happened to be one of the more consistent ones.
Should have
Yeah,
talked to
that's
us.
that's why I didn't win the league.
Yeah. Steve.
I did really well this year, but all I'm thinking about are the terrible moves I made. Bo Scarborough, Ty Johnson, Brian Hill.
Let's get into that. What were the worst moves that you made this year?
Well, it's like there are a bunch of opportunities that happen where you go, okay,
Yeah.
this is it. You know,
Yeah.
was it Ty Johnson, the
yeah.
guy in the
that
Lions?
was so. I did the same thing.
It was like, cool, he's going to get
yeah.
burned
you know,
all my waiver picks
he's
for
gonna get the
him.
full
I
workload.
used up all
Yeah.
my blind bidding money
Yeah.
in one league for that.
Yeah.
Because I needed a running back so bad. I'm like, oh, he's going to be
Yeah.
number one. I don't care who it is.
Oh,
He's
I thought of
number
a good one.
I'll give one for Bucky was DeMarcus Robinson.
Oh, from the
The
Chiefs.
Chiefs receiver, Robinson. You spent a lot of money on
dude.
Robinson.
And
He had that one week with like 2
He had the-
touchdowns.
he had the
almost all
$200
my
week.
money. That's
Yep.
why I had no money at the end of the year
Yeah.
to do anything.
Yeah.
And I also did that in the fanball league, in the big league that you hooked me up with.
Yep.
He blew up, and I said, I'm getting him because I had Mahomes.
Just
He's
stack.
gonna take
You're a
Watkins'
stacker. You
spot.
like stacking.
Oh,
The Chiefs
Yeah,
in
it's
the
good.
beginning
When
of
it
the
works out for
year,
you, it's-
it was
$200.
like
I only had 300.
it didn't matter who you had. Any of them could have went off.
Yep.
You know, and then
Yeah.
it kind of died down because the backfield was a mess after Williams got hurt and all that stuff. And then
Yeah, I drafted Williams early.
and then you just had to have Tyreek Hill or Kelsey.
Right.
Yeah.
The
Like-
Chiefs are a team like the Chiefs and the Pats are two teams that are similar in that regard. Where if you don't have one of the big dogs, then it's really tough to find which of the other guys is going to be the one that week.
Yeah.
Same as the Eagles.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah, yeah.
But they don't really have a big dog.
There's Nelson
Well, they
Aguilar and everyone else.
Yeah, well, they have
Well, my
Ertz. He's
my
the big
two
dog.
two two top picks that I had were T.Y. Hilton. That was one of my early picks.
Yep.
He went down, and then Damian Williams, and those were my two starters, and I didn't get to play them most of the year.
Oh man,
That was like us with Kerryon
I
Johnson.
mentioned I was 11th or
Yeah.
12th. I can't
Carry on was so good. until he
Kerryon
got
Johnson
Yeah.
might have been my worst pick. Now
That's my stash
here's
in
my
Dynasty.
here's my biggest mistake of the year. The list of guys. Here's a list of guys that I drafted over Austin Eckler in the 6th round.
You can't think of it.
Huh? No, this
Petty
is exactly
does.
it. Because
Petty
Austin
does.
Eckler is, Austin Eckler was like low hanging fruit. Like he's gonna start.
Right.
He's gonna be the guy. But we're all thinking, oh, maybe Justin Jackson will be the guy. But the guy is sitting there.
Yeah.
In the 6th round, he's a bargain. He's an obvious pick. And here are
You're
the guys
never
I
an
picked.
obvious pick.
He was though.
Obviously,
you knew he was
Obviously,
starting.
I would have taken him.
Obviously.
But you know what?
But we
I
weren't
think-
sure when Melvin Gordon was coming
We
back.
didn't, but you
There
know
was
what?
a lot of
whole
ambiguity.
contract
to
dispute and all
me,
that.
looking back on it and looking back on all the people I listened to and looking back on all the people I follow on Twitter who were playing up Austin Eckler and all the people I ignored,
Right.
right? Like they're like telling you, they're yelling at you, draft Austin Eckler. Here's the people I drafted.
I
over
told you
Austin
straight
Eckler.
up, I didn't think Melvin Gordon was going to play all season
Right,
long.
right.
I was
I
like,
didn't either. Yeah.
Eckler's going to be the guy all season long.
Yep. That's
Here's
why
who I drafted
him.
over.
Yeah.
Here's who I drafted over Austin Eckler. LaShawn McCoy, like in every damn league.
Yeah.
Right? The
Yeah.
worst
That's-
ever.
yeah.
Right?
And that did or
Dar-
didn't work out for you.
That did not work out.
Okay,
for me.
interesting.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Shocked.
Interesting.
Shocked.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
very
It did not work out.
Yeah.
LaShawn McCoy. Darius Geis.
Yeah.
That didn't work out.
That's a tough one,
That's
though.
hard though because
Yes.
that
That's an
should have
asterisk.
worked out for you.
That's an asterisk.
That should have worked out.
Yeah.
I mean, if he hadn't gotten hurt.
Josh Gordon.
Yeah, that's just dumb.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah, yeah.
ouch.
Coming from the guy who can't quit, Josh Gordon.
Right.
Years ago. Yeah, I didn't have it this year.
So you quit him. You finally
Yeah.
quit him. Oh.
Yeah.
I had years that I couldn't quit.
He would
Yeah, not
he
now.
would he would come crawling back if he entered the league again.
Yeah. Come on, Joshy.
Come back to
Like
Papa.
like that psycho girlfriend you
That's
just
it.
can't let go.
That's it.
Yeah. That was my worst move of the year.
You can't beat yourself up.
Other than the
No,
Camara
I
and
agree.
CMC thing, that's the worst. That's
Right.
the one I regret. That's a bad one. That's the one I'm regretting the most.
My biggest
Which is not
regret
good.
is drafting Le'Veon Bell so early, man. I
Yeah?
took him 4th in a couple of different leagues. I think I took him 1st round in our league.
You were gaced.
I just really thought with Dalton and all that.
You just
Robbie
got
Anderson, and the defense the Jets had. I just
Yeah.
really thought they were going to do something this year with. But Dalton turned.
I
out
believe
to be,
you
I mean,
did
not
take
Dalton,
him. I believe you did take him in the first round. Bell.
He's same as Dalton.
Yeah.
What's the quarterback for the Jets? I'm blank.
Yeah.
Darnold.
Arnold.
Sam
Darnold.
Different D.
Arnold.
Yeah.
Darnold,
what was-
Dalton, whatever.
Captain Mono.
Now, conversely, what was your best move of the year, Christina Shaw?
Draft or pick up or what?
Anything.
Okay.
Draft or pick. Other than Eckler in the 6th,
Probably
you know.
Tannehill
Yeah.
because with luck and with
In the Superflex League, mind you.
yeah, in our
Right.
Superflex
Right.
league, which I had so much bad luck with quarterbacks and injuries and stuff, and I think Tannehill.
Okay. Tom.
Come back to me. I'm thinking.
Who was your best
Move
your
of the year.
move?
Best
Oh,
move of the year.
including the draft.
Anything.
I went to the Super Bowl because I took Derrick Henry in like the 8th round. He was sitting there. I don't know. Did he go late in?
Yeah, because
Did, yeah.
most people were
Injuries.
like, he's not good.
Banged up. He's hurt. Or
He's
they're going to give the
easy
ball to
tackle. Every
Lewis.
time he's in the game, you know they're going to run.
I was
so
talking to a
stack the
guy
box.
that had Derrick Henry and Christian McCaffrey in a dynasty league.
Boy, I bet he
Like-
won.
Well,
He did.
He probably won.
my two keepers in the same league next year are going to be Devontae Adams and Derrick Henry. That's
it.
I mean, that's not a bad
That's
way
easy.
to start.
Jake,
Yeah.
best move, Jake.
I got Derrick Henry real late in
Yeah,
the
me
draft
too,
in ours. That worked out real well. But I didn't know it was going to be as good a move as it was.
Sucked in the playoffs, so didn't when he didn't play in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
but
yeah. So I don't know how much credit I can take for that.
I didn't find out till Saturday he was not going to start.
And my best move of the year in our league was probably the trade that I made with you. Was
Oh
probably getting
yeah,
Zeke.
that was.
I mean, it was a good
I mean,
trade
that was-
for me too.
That was the trade that got me
Looking
into the
what
playoffs.
my quarterbacks were at the time, I was like, I need to do it.
Yeah.
Plus, there was Nick Chubb attached to it too, so I was like, that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was the move that I thought it was a good trade for both of us,
Yeah.
and it was the move that got me into the playoffs and got me second place.
There's going to be a new coach in Cleveland too, and Chubb's
Yeah.
going to be great
Yep.
for years to come. And you've got him forever if
Yeah.
you want him.
Steve.
I think I went for like consistency overall. So like I had a lot of Michael Thomas, Mark Ingram.
Yeah.
DJ Moore did me a lot of good.
Oh,
His-
Michael
Michael
Thomas.
Thomas,
So
dude.
Oh, the
All
other
the feels.
the good pickup that I forgot about was DJ Chark. It was a big
Oh,
deal.
yeah.
yeah.
speaking of
So it was
DJ
like-
Chark.
I
DJ
didn't ha-
Chark.
I didn't have like a
You
ton
want
of
to sing it?
Yes.
DJ
Chark.
DJ Chark.
DJ Chark. DJ Chark. Okay.
Last time.
It's the last time we had.
Does anyone in this room have children?
No.
I do.
Oh yeah. Well,
Oh yeah.
This is your
But
child.
old,
Yeah,
older
Bucky knows
children.
that.
Was you going to sing that song?
Well, do you know Baby Shark?
That's what we're doing.
Oh, yeah.
We're doing.
Baby Shark.
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. Because that's what kids listen to, like on
yeah.
repeat.
Mine's not little, but
Baby Shark. I, Christina Shaw, was singing Baby Shark
No, it's DJ Chark.
to the tune of Baby Shark. Leave me alone. I'm Christina Shaw.
Oh, my best move this
Yeah,
year.
go for it.
Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Easy one.
That was my worst.
Just that.
That was my worst decision.
So,
to
I
make.
think-
Fantasy
I think
expert
for me,
over there. Tom.
I think for me, my best move.
dive.
I was not scared off of Dalvin Cook this year. Like,
Yeah,
Dalvin
good
Cook.
for you. I remember you
Dalvin
taking Cook and me
yeah.
being like,
Yeah.
okay, kid.
Yeah,
what do you
I
know?
decided to go in because I've learned like as long as the running back's got a clear handcuff, even though that handcuff didn't do anything.
Madison
Right.
wasn't.
Because but Madison didn't play. Like the week you,
fantasy-wise,
the
he
week
didn't
you
actually
needed
do
Alexander
anything.
Madison, you didn't get him. He was hurt.
But,
But
yeah.
to me, I'm no longer going to be scared off of the hurt
who's-
running
who's
back
injured,
so long as they have the handcuff. So like Fournette. I'm
Right.
not going to be scared off Fournette because of Armstead. I won't be scared off of Cook because of Madison.
Yeah.
So there's somebody there. I would be more scared of the injury-prone wide receiver because who's your handcuff? Like the guy you need. As long as the guy's got a clear replacement, I'm not going to be scared off that guy. That's something I'm learning. Like,
And then you're going to make sure to draft
you
that
have
guy.
to get that replacement. I mean, I look how early I
Yeah.
took Madison in the dynasty league.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not getting screwed.
Yeah,
up
I've got
for
him
that.
in my other dynasty league. Like,
Right.
What did you guys? Any of you guys get burned with Philip Lindsay, or what were your thoughts on the Denver backfield?
You know,
I
that was
stayed away from
disappointing.
him.
I didn't touch him.
I had to play him. And
I was out.
Why they're not just giving that guy the ball? No, I don't understand why they're even messing around with that.
Yeah.
They keep wanting to use Freeman.
I don't understand
They keep
why.
wanting
He's-
to,
he's-
and Lindsey's the better player right now.
And he's so tough. He could be the next McCaffrey.
joke.
I mean, I think he really could.
If they actually get rid of Freeman next year, I'll be all in on Lindsay.
And I also
yeah.
think,
Definitely.
speaking
Yes.
of Denver, a sleeper tight end is Noah Fant.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh,
love him.
yeah. Fant's good.
I
Yeah.
love him.
I have him in the dynasty on my
Would
staff
you say
too.
he's
That's a great
fantastic?
Oh,
That's pretty good, Tom.
very good, Tom.
Thanks.
Nope,
why-
I wouldn't say that.
That's why we brought Tom
I
in
would
here.
never say that.
Fantastic.
That's awesome.
So all right. So all you Steve Weiss fans, Steve's gonna
gonna have
disappear in a
to
little
roll
bit.
it
But
in a
we're
second.
gonna
I
ask.
got like
Let's ask
3
this.
more minutes.
Let's ask this question to get this around the table. What would you like to see in fantasy to make the game better for you? Like what do you want to see now? Are you getting rid of PPR, going half point PPR? Would that be yours? Or
I'm
something
just
else?
with that. It's more of a like. I wonder how that would change things.
Yeah.
Because like I played in a half point PPR league with my dad this year, and it was actually I thought like the most fun league. It was like the teams were a little more even
Okay.
because it's like the receivers get yardage and receptions. I don't. It just
Well, just tell us what
PPR
your
was
perfect fantasy league is. Tell us your like
I don't know
ideal
if I have,
rules.
I'm into Superflex now.
Okay.
I think it's fun to have more roster spots required because that
That will be my
eliminates
answer.
luck a little bit.
That's going to be my answer. My answer is both Superflex and starting more players.
It's like a larger
larger
roster,
rosters. It reduces the luck without a doubt.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
I'm
yeah,
jumping.
that's it. That's my answer to that.
Yeah, that's pretty much my answer too. I like the idea of waivers going on Wednesday because we learn so
gonna talk
much
about
on
that, too.
Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
Because Wednesday morning is when the teams go practicing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you find out, oh, that guy's actually concussed and he's probably not going to play.
Mm-hmm.
But I just picked him up. You know, it's like, why are we forcing ourselves to shoot in the dark?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with
It's
that.
like not obsolete.
No, but the big money.
When that rule came out, it made sense for that time period, not anymore.
The big money fantasy sites, NFFC, FFPC, they do waivers on Wednesdays. It's Yahoo, CBS, ESPN, NFL. They go waivers Tuesday. So that's why we set Fantrax up for Tuesday. But it's true, like the high stakes players, they
They
do
do,
Wednesday because they want that first practice to happen before they get information.
I
to
mean,
make
it's
their
an
decision.
advantage, but it's the same advantage for everybody.
Right.
So,
Oh yeah, agreed.
Therefore,
all right,
it's
Paying attention at
Christina,
all.
what would you do?
I would try to take as much luck out of it as possible, like you said, with more roster
But you
positions.
drafted him.
Oh, yeah, funny.
Wow, that's good.
But honestly, I don't like to want to take too much about what we already have because what I actually like all the different leagues. Like, I like that I have a dynasty league and a half point and a full point and a non-PPR.
It's like
I actually like that.
It's like going to a buffet.
Right.
Fantasy football.
Exactly. It's different strategies for how you're drafting too, and it makes you think more, and it makes it more interesting.
About the fish bowl. The Scott
Scott Fish Bowl.
He like creates a new scoring system each year.
Yeah.
Where like, okay, tight ends get double points for everything.
Oh,
I like that.
Like, and then
That's
it just
interesting.
but
It's very interesting.
It's the X-Men, so it's like they go, okay, so this year I have to do this.
I also
think it's kind of fascinating.
Have y'all ever played in like a 16-team league or a 14? That's really interesting.
I've never
Isn't
done
it?
16.
I did a
16.
I did a 16-teamer this
Sounds
year. Boy,
horrendous.
was that rough.
See, I don't even
It's
like
brutal.
12. I don't even like 12.
Yeah.
I know, but 16 is really. I mean, it's hard to get yourself in that mindset.
Yeah.
12 is perfect.
Yeah, anything less than 12.
Right.
is
No, the
just-
10s are
you know what?
horrible.
That's
I
something
hate
I would
the
change.
10 is
10s.
where it's at.
I can't stand 10 teams.
I can't.
I can't.
That's luck.
That's
luck.
the opposite. It is the
No
opposite.
way.
You're talking about
No
reducing luck.
way.
You make it 10 team. You make it 10
All
teams.
the players are good then.
Everyone's stacked.
Yeah.
Then you're,
Nope.
Luck
then it's
is
just
reduced.
based
You're
on-
retired.
If you're playing with people that know what they're doing, it's all stacked. Like,
Right. I mean, that's the thing is, I mean, 10 team with people who know what they're doing is where it's at.
I lost in the finals of the 110 team league I played, and it was like the guy's team was just ridiculous. And then my bench had great players. It was
Right.
like,
You always think your team is great.
that's the thing. You leave so many points on the bench because you go, well, I guess I'm not playing
and it's,
Mixon
that's
because
why I
still
think
have
it's
these
lucky
four
because
other great
you're going, okay,
guys.
I've got two.
How is that lucky?
Because
Because you have to
How is
throw a coin
no,
and
no,
pick.
no, no. How is picking the right player off your bench lucky?
But because it's 100% luck. If you've got, for example,
Yes, of
Derrick
course
Henry
it's luck.
and
Yes.
Austin Eckler, and they're one's playing the Miami, one's playing Cleveland, or whatever, or
No,
Miami and Cincinnati, you go, which one do you play?
My finals week when I've got Dak Prescott and Daniel Jones to pick between, and I pick Daniel Jones and he crushes it, and Dak puts up just a pedestrian week.
You got lucky.
That's not lucky.
Yes, it is.
No, because Daniel Jones was playing against who was it?
Daniel
Washington.
Jones played
Luck
Washington.
It was
be a
Washington and
lady
Philly.
tonight.
It was Washington versus Philly defenses.
Luck be
So like you go with the worst defense.
But no, but even if you make even if you think you're making the right decision, you still can lose.
But that's the case. That's the case with anything.
Well, that's where the luck comes in. That's how the 10 team gets lucky.
No, it's not lucky though. If you
To
make
put
not
to put a
fighting
pin
on
in this argument, I just want to say I love you guys and I love fantasy
Much
football.
love,
Out
baby.
here.
Love you, Steve.
Looking
See you,
forward to next
Steve.
year. It's going to be awesome. We should do this again. I feel like we only got halfway through our list. Of what we
I
wanted
know.
to go
I knew this
through.
was
We
going to
got
happen.
more. We got more to do.
Apparently, there's college players that are going to get drafted. Who would've
I know.
thought?
And who would have thought?
Thank you, Jacob, for making this happen.
Hey, of course.
All you
Yeah,
guys,
thank
guys
you.
are great.
Steve.
And we're still going to go
Boston.
on. Now, Tom, what would you do if you had a? What would you like to see in your fantasy leagues?
I would eliminate the kicker position.
Oh wow!
You stole mine.
Uh-oh, he's back. He's back.
Oh, yeah, why are we even playing with kickers
Yeah.
anymore?
Yeah, right? Because like
Amen.
any given week, a kicker can kick for 23 points or whatever, a ridiculous number, and it's like
Tucker.
and you don't really care about the kicker. Everybody's streaming them anyway.
How is that different than Joe Mixon? Any different week, he can go have 3 points, and then he can have 25.
What you guys
points.
define as luck is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Well, it's whatever works for us individually.
Yeah. This is.
But I hate kickers.
What I'm saying is these are reasons that you guys lost games this year.
Oh, okay.
Very bitter
I'm saying
about
this
it.
isn't luck. This is sour grapes.
I will say this. I think that
A little bit, maybe.
yeah.
I think that
That's all it sounds like to me.
as fantasy and for fantasy, there's so much effort to try to take the luck out of the game, and I think that that's a very dangerous thing to do because the bad luck, say what you want to say, is what keeps us coming back. It frustrates us. It's what gets us talking. It's why we end up yelling at each other on the phone. Like, I can't believe this happened. I can't believe he crapped the bed. Like this is what's fun
You
about
I
this
can hear
game.
people yelling through a text.
Absolutely, you know it.
Him and I are texting, and he knows how pissed I am.
I know it, and that's because of the luck.
Yeah.
Do not take the luck out of this game. It's
Not all of it.
There's a reason why more people play this than chess. Like,
Okay.
chess, chess is no luck.
Okay, so you
And
guys
it's boring as hell.
So you guys are talking about getting rid of luck. So Kenny doesn't want to get rid of all the luck. So the people who do want to get rid of the luck, auction draft versus snake draft.
I disagree. I don't disagree. Auction drafts have a lot less luck involved than a
Yes.
snake draft.
Yes.
There's no doubt about that.
Yes.
No doubt.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Because like
We did the auction this year, and
I liked it.
Yeah, auctions are fun. No
I
doubt
liked
about
it a lot.
Wait, who did the auction? We didn't. do the
No,
auction.
we did an auction.
You did the auction.
We're in an auction league.
Yeah, because I want our dynasty league to go to an auction draft. That's all I want in our dynasty league, because I think any dynasty league, A, it should be an auction draft, and B, any players that you're keeping should count against your auction money.
I feel like we need to start. We need to start the league that way. If we started the league that way, we could have done that.
I wanted to start the league that way.
I think I
got shot down.
Well,
see,
start another league, Jake. You can go to. You're only in 3. You can go to 4.
No, I can't go to 4.
Kenny's in a 36.
I'm in.
I'll play.
I'll play.
I play every league.
Let me tell y'all. When
Literally, you walk down the street and the guy's playing fantasy football. I'm in a league with that guy, right? Any dude in this town, right? I'll play.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, I would.
I
Totally
think Kenny knows every fantasy football player in this town.
I have a list. I have a database.
Yeah.
That's how I recruit
if
players.
you do a dynasty league, sometimes like when we started the 52-man league, there's a salary cap. You got a salary cap. Now we your pick for the rookie draft is based on where you finished, obviously, but it does go there. But after that, it's blind bidding. But you have a salary cap, and if you keep a player, you got to give them a 20% raise every year.
Right.
Exactly.
Things like that.
Oh, that's cool.
My big dynasty league, we do. It's $5. So it's a $200 salary cap.
Yeah.
And any player
Monopoly money.
It's all Monopoly money. Yeah. No, it honestly is. So it's $200, but that's also a big money buy-in league too. But so it's a $200 salary cap. Every year it's $5 plus, I think 20%.
Yeah, 20% is what we do.
I think we do $5 and 20% on top of what you paid for him the year before, and that counts against your auction money for the next year.
Huh, that's interesting.
So, like, for instance, when I had Kamara, when I got Kamara for $1 his rookie year, then the next season he was $7.
So that went towards.
And so it's $5 plus 20%.
Oh, yeah, it was always
Inflation.
20% in mine but once you've had somebody, I remember at the end.
It makes it where you can keep
Santana
somebody for like 4, maybe 5 years.
Santana
and
Moss's
they're out.
last year,
Oh,
I think I owed him
Santana
$7 million out of my. But let me tell you, here's what I think. I don't know how you guys feel about this. 2 defenses.
Oh boy,
I love playing 2 defenses.
I don't hate it.
ouch. Yeah.
I don't hate 2 defenses.
I mean,
You wouldn't be
I haven't
streaming.
done it, but I don't
Well,
hate
you
the
wouldn't be
idea.
streaming anymore. That'd be it.
Bears
Yeah.
and Patriots,
Yeah.
you get a.
Just like the quarterbacks, it makes them more important.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I really don't.
I'm in 3
I don't
leagues,
mind getting
2
rid of a
defenses.
kicker for another defense.
Thank you. That's what I'd like.
I'm
That's
a
what I-
kicker fan. To me, like
Yeah, keep the
kickers don't
kickers.
bother me.
I like the kickers.
Kickers don't
Freaking
bother
hate 'em.
me.
I don't know how I feel about 2 defenses though, because defenses are just
Oh,
all
it's-
over the
oh,
place.
it's
I like
great.
it intellectually. I like.
So are
I haven't
kickers.
tried it,
Yeah.
but I
It's
try
the
it.
same, but at least you got kick returns for touchdowns.
Yeah.
It make, that makes fun. Punt returns for touchdowns.
Yeah.
And then what sucks is if you have Tyreek Hill,
interceptions.
but he doesn't get the points for the touchdown because the player doesn't, the team does.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So Christina Shaw, now that you've won a title, are we still believing that it's 40% skill, 60% luck?
Yes. Yes, I still think it is.
still
I
think that?
had skill
I
and I
disagree.
got a little bit of luck.
I disagree.
I got lucky with Eckler.
Our argument has always been she's always 40-60. I'm more like 65-35 that it's skill to luck.
Listen,
I think I'd be about
I
that.
think 2-1. That's
Yeah,
how
yeah,
I
I'm
feel.
about there.
But you believe it's more luck. than skill.
I believe it's more 60-40. You make the best choices
40-60.
based on the data, and you basically hope for the best chance.
Well, it's lucky. It's lucky if a player makes it through the year without getting hurt.
The skill,
Right, that
the
too.
skill
Why
part,
you-
is,
and
the
you-
skill
and
part
there's-
is getting your backups.
And there's so many things that you can't control. You can't control injuries, suspensions, teammates,
Hell,
weather,
if a coach gets pissed
gameplay.
off at the player,
Right, exactly. There's so much.
Antonio Brown.
Exactly. One word, Antonio Brown. There's so much that you
The
can't
skill part is
control.
don't draft Antonio Brown.
And I didn't. And I didn't. Actually, no, that was something else. But no, and I didn't.
I got friends that had him, dropped him, and picked him up again.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I'm like, I'm not getting near that.
There's just too what my saying is there's just too many factors that are out of your control.
Tom, percentage for luck versus skill.
I think I'm with you guys 2-1 on skill.
You think it's 2-1, 65-35, or 66-33?
Yeah.
Skill.
Because you
Skill-
have to
skill
know like who to draft and prep that team plus the handcuffs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You can't control what's going to happen during the season, but you can prepare if that does happen during the season. Versus like I'm just going to pick all the big names and hopefully they do what they do, you know?
But what about the people that just like come into the league that don't know crap and make it all the way? Which there's so many of the leagues
Once
that
in a
we're
while.
all in.
And not
Yeah.
a lot, though.
Not
I
a
mean,
lot, though.
I'll tell you
I
what, in the big money leagues I play, that doesn't happen.
My wife,
Yeah.
In $20 leagues, that can happen,
Yeah.
of course. But
Yeah.
not,
I've got a
when you
big
play in
money-
250, forget that.
My
That
big
doesn't
money
happen.
league where there's one guy in there who does not know what he's doing. We call him the new guy. Like his team name is the new guy, and he finished 2-12 this season. Like I've got his record right here in front of me. He finished 2-12. And I mean, he had Jared Goff, Le'Veon Bell, Kareem Hunt, T.Y. Hilton, Tyler Boyd, Cortland Sutton, Kyle Rudolph, Greg
Was it an
Zuerlein,
auction?
and
Or
the
was
Titans.
it Snake?
That's auction.
That's not a
Okay,
horrible-
well
not a
that
really
makes more
horrible
sense
little team.
because you're taking the luck out of auction.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, if it was a snake, more luck in that. He could have done better.
I agree with that completely.
Yes.
No, snake draft. That's why I'm against snake drafts. I hate being in leagues with snake drafts. I really do. Like the 2 leagues that I'm in with snake drafts, the only reason I stay in them is because they're Kenny leagues. Mm-hmm. I don't want to drop out of my friend's league.
I'm honored.
I don't want to drop out of my friend's league, but if it was just like a random league or something, I would have dropped out of both of these leagues because they're snake drafts.
Yeah.
My wife went to the Super Bowl against me one year. She knows a lot about football, but she drafted what she called her cute boy team. So it was Tony Gonzalez and Tom Brady and all the cute boys.
Oh
Right.
my god!
And she went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean,
But you
We're
know,
all
even,
like,
there's
what?
a lot of
even that,
instances.
even like cute boy team, there's something to be said for that.
they're all the talented ones are handsome. That's for
Yeah, you do. You look back through, like, usually your quarterback is the handsomest kid in school.
Garoppolo took his
Usually-
helmet off, and I went,
All right.
Yeah.
Like,
all right,
Fitzpatrick
go on
looks
with
like a
your bad
good-looking
self, Mr.
lumberjack.
Trey. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fitzpatrick is a sexy lumberjack.
a Viking.
Yeah.
My last comment on luck versus skill is this: if you look at Yahoo keeps stats.
Uh-huh.
What'd you call me?
On players? Yahoo.
Yahoo.
And players that have platinum and diamond ratings, the players that are better versus players that have silver and bronze ratings. And look, if you look at the standings at the end of most years, it kind of goes with that. Like the diamond and the platinum players find a way to get to the top of the standings, and the bronze players usually find a way at the bottom. That's not luck.
Yeah.
There's something to that.
Yeah.
You know? There's something to that.
And like you had said before, if you take the luck out, it's
It's not fun.
not fun. And I think
We're playing chess.
And
And
I
that's,
feel
you know,
like
guy.
the
I mean, I'm
you're
kind of
50. You're 50-50 on that.
I am, man. I kind of think it's a combination of both.
Yep.
I mean, you got to. We all know you got to draft a good team. You got to have a good draft.
Right.
But you can also get real lucky and pick up a Boston Scott or somebody like that and play them in the playoffs, and they end up, launching you. If you've got an okay team, a little bit of luck and.
can push you. Right.
But
right,
I
right.
do think it's pretty close, man. I just always felt that way.
See what that is. I think you don't necessarily need to have a great draft, but you have to know how to run your season.
Then you got to work.
Like waivers and all that stuff, and that's
it's
where a lot more
position.
skill comes in.
I think it's value.
Yeah.
Was what makes a big difference. Is like getting Derrick Henry in the 7th or 8th round.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
That can change your. That can change
That's a
your
game
team.
changer.
Yeah.
I think the 2019 season, though, is different in that you had to draft well because waivers stunk so bad. If you didn't
Yeah.
draft well, you had a rough year.
Yeah.
And that
what
is
happened in my
very
dynasty team.
unlike any other season.
I got second place in the Dynasty League because I picked up guys like John Brown on waivers and made good trades.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Welcome.
Like, I mean,
Which is skill.
yeah, I mean, that's the thing is I think I'm probably the highest skill. Like, I'm probably more like 70% skill.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it's about 70% skill, about 30% luck. Because, like, I mean, yeah, I had in my big league, I had Zeke and Kamara were my 2 main running backs, but then I had Latavius Murray and Tony Pollard sitting on my bench ready to go.
Yep.
If I got unlucky.
But
Like,
even if you
I'm
did play
prepared,
Pollard,
I'm prepared for the not lucky part.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying, like, if Zeke had gone down,
Right,
I had
right.
Pollard ready.
but Pollard wasn't that great even when Zeke wasn't in sometimes.
Sure.
So that's bad luck.
About 30% bad luck.
Yeah. I feel like the sooner we realize that we can only have so much control over the game, then the more fun, the more we can enjoy it.
Yeah. See you, Bucky.
We're going to say goodbye
Bye,
to Bucky
Bucky.
Hurd, the great Bucky Hurd, off to work to the Righteous Brothers.
You're losing them one at a time.
I know, right?
dropping like-
it's
'cause
going to
we're
be 5 o'clock, and it's just going to be Kenny and I.
We're going long, so
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
gonna breeze through this really quickly
Go.
because it's getting toward the end here. So 2020 NFL draft, quarterbacks to look at, obviously Joe Burrow, Tua Tagovailoa, Justin Herbert. Running backs to
I
look
want Joe
at.
Burrow. I don't want the other 2.
You want Joe Burrow?
Yeah, I don't want the other 2.
You're not interested in Tagovailoa?
No.
Any word on Jordan Love from Utah State?
Jordan Love looks good.
Yeah,
I don't think he'll be ready first year though.
but if he'll be drafted,
He'll certainly be drafted. I don't want him on my fantasy team his first year out.
okay. Running backs, the 3 biggies: DeAndre Swift, Jonathan Taylor, J.K. Dobbins.
I'm huge on Jonathan Taylor.
Okay.
Jonathan Taylor has been a monster for 4 years at Wisconsin, and he's looked NFL ready for 3 of them.
And DeAndre Swift comes out of Georgia. It feels like every big running back in the world ever comes out of Georgia.
Yep.
So you gotta look at that. Wide receivers: CeeDee Lamb, Jerry Jeudy, Justin Jefferson, and there's more names. The wide receiver class this year is disgustingly deep.
Yeah.
We're going to be going 3 rounds in that this year with wide receivers.
Yeah.
So
Justin Jefferson caught 82% of his targets in 2019.
Justin Jefferson is a beast.
Yes.
Out of LSU, Justin Jefferson has been a beast all season
So
long.
awesome.
And he was the second best wide receiver on his team.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yep.
Jamar Chase was the best wide receiver on that team all year. He was the Biletnikoff Award winner in college football this year. And and Justin Jefferson is a monster.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Like
so this is a very deep draft this
And
year.
CeeDee Lamb and Jerry Jeudy, both fantastic players. I'd love to have either of them on the Saints.
I like that name.
Right now, the dynasty, the first 4 are going to be DeAndre Swift, Taylor, Dobbins, and then Lamb, and then Jeudy. That's actually first 5. That's what we're looking at now in a Superflex league. Burrow might go even earlier than that because you're going to need a quarterback. So, very quickly, should we sing our draft him or pass him?
Sure.
Draft him or pass him. Draft him or pass him. You can take a player and put him on your team. Oh, I'm husky. Or not.
I'm husky.
There you go.
You are
Drafting, I'm very husky. I'm very husky. Derrick Henry, first round pick next year. You drafting him?
Yes.
I think you have to.
You have to.
Yeah.
I think you're stuck.
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I'm not drafting Derrick Henry in the first round next year. Especially
lucky
in a
this
PPR league, I am not drafting a guy who doesn't catch passes.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fair.
Yeah.
And I'm also
I'm nervous about him, but I just think he's stuck. I think he's stuck. I think
I
he's in
don't
the first round.
I don't like one-dimensional players. And that's what
think
he
I'm-
is. Now
I'm-
he's
I'm on your
in
side
a
with
non-PPR, hell yeah.
That one dimension is real good.
No doubt.
That's a good dimension.
No doubt.
He only has. That's all they have.
Yeah, yeah.
I
His
wish
bad games this year, he was
No,
averaging
they got
4.5
AJ
yards
Brown.
a carry.
I just wish he was going, like, if he falls second round, I'm in. But, like, first pick overall, like 6th overall, oh boy.
In a 12-team league, what if you got like the 10th pick and he's there?
It depends what's out there. I'm not thrilled with it.
I hear you.
I'm just not. You know?
I get it.
You know how every year, like, there's a player you don't really believe in?
Yeah.
Even though their stats say you should believe in them?
Yeah.
Right.
I think he's one of those players for me.
That's for me. Yeah.
Like, it's just, he's an amazing running back. He's a tank. Nobody can take him down. And I still, I don't know about the first round.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you.
His crummy games, he averaged 4.5 yards a carry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's tough.
And I think it comes down to league structure and all that stuff, too. It's just,
I mean, there are always going to be mitigating factors.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones, late first round.
Aaron Jones or Derrick Henry for you, Kenny.
Aaron Jones.
Derrick Henry.
Thomas.
Aaron Jones.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
There you go.
Got to split.
We got to split.
There you go. See, PPR, it's Aaron Jones because for me, it's Aaron because he catches passes.
And
But
I feel like LaFleur knows he can lean on Aaron Jones now.
yeah,
Instead of having that residual McCarthy where he wanted to split backfield the whole time, even though Aaron Jones is a superior running back, that LaFleur finally sees that and he's just handing it like he's Aaron Jones every play,
The problem that Aaron Jones is going to run into next year is Aaron Rodgers is going to be, again, a little bit worse again next year.
Yeah.
no doubt.
And so, I mean, you're going to see a lot more 8 men in the box against
I will-
Aaron Jones.
And I also say that if you had to pick a guy who's going to have touchdown regression, is by far Aaron Jones. 'Cause
Oh,
he scored a ridiculous amount of touchdowns. He's not going to do that this year. I would not expect that from Derrick Henry. I think
Derrick
Henry will get
Henry
the same
consistent.
day. He's going to be consistent.
He was
I agree
second
with
to
that.
Christian McCaffrey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's why I say Derrick.
Anybody dare drafting Lamar Jackson in the first round?
No.
All right, we're all on the same page with that.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, we're not doing
No.
it. Yeah, okay. That's good.
The only reason I had Patrick Mahomes in the first round this year was because I had to keep him.
Yeah.
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 Right.
Even after
We're
his
not-
season last
Oh, so
year,
you
I was
didn't
like,
draft him.
yeah.
You kept
We're not
Yeah.
not early quarterback guys
Yeah.
in this league, and
Yeah.
nobody is that we know.
Yeah.
Devontae Parker, if he's a 4th round pick, what are you doing, Chris?
Ooh, 4th round.
Is Fitzpatrick back?
All right, what if it's Tua Tagovailoa?
If it's Tua, no.
You know, all right. Fitz,
Maybe 5th, not 4th.
okay.
If Fitz is there, then I like 4th.
Yeah.
Tom,
If
Yeah.
if it's Fitz, then yeah, 4th. If it's Tua, I'm probably not.
If it's Tua, I'm passing.
Yeah.
all right. And my answer is not on your life for either of them.
No.
Ah,
I'm
Yeah.
not. I am avoiding him like the plague this
That's
year. I think he had a break. I think he had an outlier year, and he will not do that again.
Yeah.
A guy doesn't take 5 years to break out, and all of a sudden he's going to be a great player. Don't
That's
buy
fair.
it. Not
Yeah,
buying
so
it.
He got gazed.
Yes.
That's real fair.
Chris Godwin,
split.
second round.
Second round.
You know he's a second round. He's lucky if he's a second round pick. He may go
No.
first.
I'm saying like
Yeah.
no. I don't think it'd be first. I'm saying second.
I think he's going to go
tied.
second. I think he's going to go second.
I don't know who's going to be throwing the ball to him.
Obviously, we don't know that yet. Let's say it's Winston.
I think then yes.
Yes.
If Winston's back, yeah, for sure.
I'm in on
him and Evans together.
I blew it on Godwin this year. I said to people he's too early as a fourth round pick. I'm not blowing it again. The guy's just too
The
good.
guy is too
The guy's too
talented.
good. He's too good. Without a doubt. I'm in. Alvin Kamara, second round pick.
Nope.
Because you're taking him in the first.
Nope.
Oh yeah, I still believe in Kamara.
I don't.
I do too.
Super
you talk-
Camario. Come on.
You talk about Devontae Parker being an anomaly this year. Like Kamara's bad year seems like an anomaly to me.
I agree.
Yeah.
See, we can't this is recency bias.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can't get screwed and not go. You have to go back.
I think Kamara is still.
I
I think Kamara is still like first round pick.
Yeah. See, it's one thing to me to
In a
pass
10
on.
team league, I think he's a first round pick.
He probably is.
Yeah.
It's one thing to pass on a guy like on guys like Le'Veon Bell or David Johnson because they're older.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you can fear that their careers are coming to an end. Kamara's what, 24?
Kamara is going
25
to be
maybe? He's a kid. Still.
He's going to be 25.
Right?
He's
And he
24 right now.
just finished his third season. I mean,
I
like,
just need to get that bad taste out of my mouth
do.
with him, and that's what's so frustrating.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I think Kamara is still a top 5 pick. I really do.
Might be.
So-
I think the top 5 next year, CMC's 1, obviously. Barkley's going to be 2, I think.
Yeah.
I think Michael Thomas will be 3. I think Dalvin Cook will be 4. And then I think it's going to be up in the air with 5. It could be Kamara.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
You think it's going to be Derrick Henry 5?
I think I'd probably put Cook. I think I'd probably put Cook at 4. Sorry, I think I'd probably put Henry at 4, Kamara at 5, and Cook at 6.
All right, here's we go. Dalvin Cook or Derrick Henry?
I think Henry.
Wow.
I
I think I'd go
Cook.
Henry.
I'm on
I'm
the
Cook all
side.
day
Yeah.
on that one.
Yeah.
I love Dalvin Cook.
I mean, I'm not sad either way.
Christina,
Which even we're about. Yeah, I'm not pissed.
But Cook. Yeah.
you're Cook.
That's
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
a toss.
Yeah,
You're not a Dalvin Cook lover though. Are
No,
you?
but
Yeah.
after this year, I'm not an Alvin Kamara lover or,
Yeah.
more, I guess. Yeah.
But you like you literally like 2 running backs out of 50, so
Yeah.
you're not a running back
I'm
person.
just not a running back person.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I got so far as I did in our dynasty
Is it-
because I was like, I didn't pick any
I'm
running
shocked.
backs.
Yeah.
I didn't pick any running backs.
You know what? It's Austin Eckler. That's why you got there.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
all of but my wide receivers are just insane.
Yeah.
I
Right.
literally have first round wide receivers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But anyway.
Interesting. All right, let's run through the free agents and where we think they're going. Tom
Okay.
Brady.
He's staying in
He's
New
staying.
England.
I think he's staying.
Yeah.
We're all
There's-
saying
he
he's
has
staying
too
in
much
England.
history.
All right. New England it is.
Yeah.
The only team I think he could go to is Chargers.
Yeah, me too.
Not the Raiders?
The Raiders are too far away. Like the Chargers could be a one-piece away team,
Okay.
but the Raiders are not.
All right.
Yeah, because they have Mike Williams there. They have Hunter Henry.
Right.
They have Keenan Allen, and then they have the backfield.
Yep.
So it's a pretty solid offense.
the
And,
Char-
Antonio,
we're-
and Antonio Gates might come back out of retirement again. Who knows?
But we're going to lose Chargers on this list. The Chargers are on the free agent list, so Chargers are going to look all different. But we all think Brady's going to stay. But where's Rivers going to go?
Old folks home.
Take care of his
As he
9
should.
kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
He just looks so bad this year.
Yeah.
If Brady stays put, then I think Rivers probably stays put.
Boy, that's tough.
I mean, because what else are the Chargers going to do?
I think Rivers is going to see that the quarterback market is not what he thinks it is.
Oh, I think
it's
Rivers
not great.
I think Rivers is going to take a much bigger pay hit than he thinks he's going to.
Oh yeah.
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 But I think he's either going to retire or he's going to be a Charger.
Now the other team, there's one wild card team in this whole thing, and that's the Colts.
Yeah. Poor Colts.
I wouldn't discount the Colts being in the quarterback market.
I think the Colts need to give Brissett a full off-season tryout.
I agree with you.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
because I think
proper-
Jacoby Brissett is not a bad quarterback.
I agree.
Yeah.
And so I want to see what he can do in a full season when we know he's the starter from day one of OTAs.
I agree with that. The quotes that came out of Colts camp to me suggest otherwise, that they may not give him that chance. I agree with
They
you
might
though.
not.
I think that he deserves it, but I don't think he's going to get it.
I mean,
I think he earned it.
I do. I think
Yeah.
he earned it big time.
First half of the year he was great. Second half was not so good.
Yeah.
I put Breeze, but do we really think Breeze is leaving New Orleans? I
Nope.
don't think so.
I think there's one scenario that Breeze leaves New Orleans, and that is if New Orleans gives up a ton of draft picks and Drew Brees to Cincinnati to get the number 1 pick and get
if they
Joe
ever
Burrow.
did that. Okay.
I think that's the only scenario that Breeze isn't in New Orleans.
But other than that would be interesting putting Joe Burrow in Louisiana again.
Exactly.
So that would make a lot of sense.
Because the one scenario that I've seen that it kind of makes sense, because I've seen a lot of trade scenarios for people trading Cincinnati to get Joe Burrow and that number 1 pick, and the only one of those that I've seen that kind of makes sense is if New Orleans were to send Drew Brees, Teddy Bridgewater, and 2 first-rounders. So you send an aging quarterback, a possible quarterback of the future, and still 2 first-rounders for Joe Burrow.
That's a long shot.
Yeah.
But I think
that's the only one
yeah,
that even.
yeah.
And even for that, I wouldn't do that if I were Cincinnati.
Yeah, I think Breeze is staying.
Yeah.
Jameis, what we think?
If I'm Tampa, I want him gone.
Silence. We just don't know.
I just
he's
don't-
such a
I
wild
don't-
card,
I
right?
don't care about Jameis Winston.
Although, if you had Jameis Winston, you won this year. Jameis Winston.
He's a good fantasy quarterback.
He's a good
It's just-
fantasy quarterback.
You gotta,
If I'm Tampa Bay, I want him out the door.
I'm not talking about.
I can't
yeah,
get
I'm
rid
not
of him
really
fast enough.
talking about fantasy, but
I think Tampa keeps him. I think we're gonna be needing him next year.
I mean, I think Tampa kept the wrong quarterback when they had Fitzpatrick and Jameis. And I said it then. I was like, I'd get rid of, trade Jameis while he's got a little bit of value left.
Yeah.
And now I think that ship has sailed.
Well, he's a free agent, so he can walk. But
Right.
interesting.
but there's no market out there for him.
I don't think there's a big market for anybody this year.
I mean, maybe San Diego.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry. Any chance he walks from the Titans?
I don't think so.
I think he'd be stupid if he did.
I think they're going to lock him down.
I don't think the Titans should give him the money.
I think they're going to pay.
I know that's crazy.
I think they're going to give him a real nice 3-year deal.
My reasoning for that is look at the Super Bowl. Raheem Mostert and Damian Williams are your starting running backs.
Yeah.
They were cast-offs.
Yep.
Cast-offs.
That's not really fair though, because you got 2 good quarterbacks and 2 good offensive systems.
You do.
there.
But
And-
they're
and
not. But like, you don't need to spend money on a running back to win.
You got to spend money on somebody.
Yeah.
But I mean, for that to be fair, then Tannehill and Mahomes have to be apples and apples.
Which they're not, obviously.
Exactly.
Mahomes is way better.
Right.
Right.
So then you need to make up that skill somewhere else, and Derrick Henry is the guy that can make up that skill for you.
I mean, I don't think Tennessee is going to let him walk, but I don't think you should invest all that money in a running back. But that's how
I think they're
I
going
would
to give
build
him.
my team.
I bet they give him what, $60 million over 3
No,
years.
he's going to get it. He'll get it.
$50 million
Yeah.
over 3 years. I bet he'll get that.
Where's Melvin Gordon going?
Oof.
I don't think anybody has a clue on that.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any
Miami.
market for the guy. Miami?
Sure. Miami picks up.
I think Miami's the
Mi-
only
Miami
team
will
that
pick up anybody.
needs a running back right
Tampa
now.
kind of needs one too.
Oh, yeah,
unless you
Tampa's
believe in Ronald
backfield.
Jones.
He might go to Florida.
Yeah.
He's had 2 years to believe in him, and it hasn't amounted to anything.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, like, is he going to he go to, like, Jacksonville and back up, what's his name?
Yeah. Minshew or Foles or both? No, wait a minute.
No,
We're doing running
running
backs.
back. Yeah.
We can back up Fournette.
Fournette, yeah.
Yep.
Like, it can be a Fournette, Gordon, 1-2 punch. Like, sure, fine.
I bet you Gordon's going to go somewhere that's going to kill somebody else's fantasy.
Yeah.
value. Like Gordon will go to like the Jets. I know that it wouldn't be the Jets, but like
I mean, it could be
Kill
if
Bell.
they get rid of Bell.
well, they got rid of Belly. Could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a list,
mean,
a
that's a
name
step
on
up.
here that I don't see. Kareem Hunt.
He's a restricted free agent. That's
He's
why.
restricted?
He
Okay.
he has to be matched. Now, I do think that if the right offer is made on Kareem Hunt, that he'll go somewhere that Cleveland will match it.
Yeah.
Or Cleveland might trade him, but he's technically still under control for a year.
Gotcha. All right.
But man, Kareem Hunt could be a game changer
Oh,
somewhere.
yeah.
I don't think he's leaving. I think Kareem Hunt's.
Yeah, I have a
they
feeling.
want that
but
1-2 punch.
Yeah.
Man, he could be a big
I'd
deal.
like Hunt on the Eagles.
I bet
Sure.
you would. Yeah. I think for fantasy, I like him on the Dolphins or the Bucks again,
Right.
or even the Chiefs.
Yeah.
If the Chiefs want to give it back to him, Kenyon Drake leaving Arizona. We don't. None of it. I think we think we're
No,
all
I think
convinced.
David Johnson is.
We're
David
convinced
Johnson's
that,
gone. Yeah,
that they're going to
Johnson's
keep Drake.
gone.
They
Kenyon
found their
Drake's
running
there.
back.
Drake's going to be the guy.
I love Kenyon Drake. I drafted Kenyon Drake. He was my 3rd most drafted player all year,
Yeah.
and I didn't drop him anywhere. So the leagues I didn't die from having him for 10 weeks, the leagues that I survived, he helped me a lot.
Yeah.
He helped me win.
Gase closed.
Yes. Here's one. Here's the fun one. AJ Green.
I think he's going to be a Bengal. He likes Cincinnati. AJ Green likes Cincinnati.
Yeah, he said he wouldn't mind going or he wouldn't mind staying. He's kind of just there.
Yeah.
Like, that's what his attitude is right now.
Yep.
I wonder how much of that is contract talk, though.
True.
I wonder how much does he really want to even play anymore?
There might be that. He might retire.
Yeah.
I mean, he might be
just
done.
injury every year, every single year. A toe, a knee, an ankle.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Green Bay Packers for AJ Green.
Oh,
AJ
okay.
Green Bay Packer. That's what we're
Okay.
going to say next year.
AJ Green and Adams, huh? Mm-hmm. Man.
Yep. Amari Cooper.
New Orleans Saints.
Oh, boy.
I think we're looking at Michael Thomas, Amari Cooper, 1-2 punch for the Saints next season.
I mean, I don't like that as a
Fantasy guy, I don't
as
like
a
it either.
fantasy
No.
Yeah.
player who
I think he's staying in
has
Dallas.
Michael Thomas.
You think here's the problem with Dallas. Can Dallas afford Zeke, Dak, and Amari?
Nope.
No.
So
And
somebody's going to go. Who's it
And
going to be?
is McCarthy going to fight for the wide receiver, the prima donna wide receiver?
True.
McCarthy isn't, no.
Exactly.
But Jerry might.
Yeah, Jerry.
But, I mean, Jerry's not going to fight for him over Dak and Zeke.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But you see the numbers after Cooper came to Dallas, and Dak's numbers just shot up.
They
Oh,
do.
sure.
Yeah.
But you
Right,
know what?
so-
They got a number one receiver, and that's Gallup.
Gallup,
Yeah.
yeah.
So-
that's it, too.
love-
I don't
Gallup.
think. I don't think they're going to sign Cooper.
But he's going to be a number one when he's the number one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well-
it could be the Juju situation when Antonio leaves, you know? But,
Could-
Big
Well,
Ben
we
wasn't
never
there,
saw
but-
that.
Couldn't you
Yeah.
see?
Yeah.
Couldn't you see them letting Cooper go and drafting like Jerry Jeudy or something?
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
big wide receiver.
Absolutely.
I wish they would have got Calvin Ridley.
Yeah.
He would have been great.
Yep.
But
That's a weird.
they
It's weird
skipped on him,
didn't-
yeah.
they didn't-
It looks like the Saints are going to gun for Cooper.
Yeah.
That's what
Right.
it's looking like out of New
All
Orleans.
right. Austin Hooper.
That
Any
was a
thoughts on
surprise
that?
this year.
Yeah, he
Austin
was.
Hooper was a
Any
big
thoughts on that?
surprise to me.
I mean, Hooper's been pretty good for a few years, and then he was good this year.
It's really good this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I don't know.
I think he stays in Atlanta.
Yeah, I don't see him.
I don't see a reason for him
I don't
to
hear
leave.
any talks of anybody interested
And,
in
like,
him.
who's going to pay him big?
Right.
Yeah.
He knows the Atlanta system. He's more valuable to Atlanta. I
Yeah.
think he stays.
Hunter Henry.
Hmm.
No thoughts on that. Yeah,
No.
nobody has any idea.
I'm in the
Like-
Christina Jameis Winston camp on that.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Like,
I'm in the camp that the New England Patriots are going to get a tight end this
Yeah.
year. Whether Gronk comes back or they get either Hooper or Henry, I think one of the conditions with Brady staying is that they improve that offense. They get that tight end mismatch that they didn't have this year.
I think
that they
Gronk is
needed.
gone.
I think
don't-
Gronk is
I don't
gone
think there's
too.
a chance on Gronk coming back.
I don't think Gronk will come back
No.
here. So I think
loves
it's
his
going to be.
CBD.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Hunter Henry. I think Hunter Henry might. end
That'd
up
be
in
dangerous.
New
Hunter
England.
Henry there, or even OJ Howard there.
So, all right, one more segment,
And we'll wrap up our
and then we'll wrap up.
show.
Yes, yeah, hey,
I'm
listen,
just
we knew
kidding.
this was going to be.
It was
we
so
have-
fun.
We have 4 times the people here.
I know.
We're at an hour and a half
Yeah.
right now. We're not terrible.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to put an end to our 2019 fantasy football season and bury all these players that we are never going to draft again. Last year, I buried Sammy Watkins because I can't freaking stand Sammy Watkins.
All right.
So who are you never drafting again, Miss Christina?
I'm
Shaw?
never gonna draft Darius Geis again. I can't. I can't with his injuries.
Okay.
He's too injury prone. I can't do it anymore. I have him. It's great on my dynasty. I'll never draft him again.
Tom.
Can I give you 2?
No. Of course you can.
I'm just giving you one then.
Of course you can.
First one is OJ Howard.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
As long as he's on a team with Bruce Arians, he's going to be non-viable whatsoever. And the second one is going to be T.Y. Hilton.
Oh, T.Y. Hilton.
It's just too unpredictable.
You sound so sad. So sad. So sad.
His
Jacob.
injuries, inconsistency at quarterback now, and we don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, those are my burials.
Jacob.
David Johnson.
No. Say it ain't so.
I hate that you're not going to draft David Johnson ever again. That makes me so sad. Me being Christina Shaw.
I hate you.
Or is that Robert De Niro? I don't know.
I also hate that you won't be drafting David Johnson again. That's what I, Bobby De Niro, think about your draft strategy.
So stupid.
My guy,
Kenny.
Tevin frickin' Coleman.
Oh gosh.
Done.
done.
I traded for him because I thought he was going to be the guy, and he was for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then he got Mostered. He got Shanahan.
Yeah.
But he just stinks.
Yeah.
I'm done.
For these players, rest in peace.
I'm done. Rest in peace, at least personally. Super Bowl pick. I'm going Chiefs over Niners 34-32.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's about where I'm at.
Yeah, me too.
I'm somewhere right in that neighborhood.
I think the Niners, player for player, are better, but the best player on the field is in Kansas City.
Yes.
And he'll find a way to win.
Yeah.
That's my belief.
I hope so.
Yep.
I just want it to be a good game.
Yeah.
It's going to be.
Because remember last
number
year
one
was
defense,
just
number one offense. Is
boring.
Yeah.
No, this will be a great game. I can't see. I'm going over. That's for sure. The over-under is 56. I'm going over that.
Yeah.
I think we got major points going to be in this game.
I'm so sad that football is over. Guys.
I was just going to say, our next show's in 6 months. Are you f***ing kidding me?
Are you f***ing kidding me?
6 months?
Damn.
So this was a lot of fun, guys. I'm glad we did this.
Yeah.
It's a little, we had a lot of people in here. We knew it was going to be a little bit of a longer show, but that's okay. It was a lot of fun. Thanks to Bucky Hurd and Steve Weiss. And thank you, Tom.
Yes.
I'm here the whole time.
Thanks, Jake, for letting us use your studio.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Talk
Thanks
about
for
your
coming.
studio.
This is the Churn. We do Matt and Mattingly's Ice Cream Social in here twice a week, every week. You can look us up on iTunes, anywhere you get podcasts. It's a funny show.
Matt Mattingly's Ice Cream Show Social is a very widely listened to show in town, and we know Matt Donnelly. I just saw Matt Donnelly. He's a funny dude, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We have a whole lot of fun. We have a Scoop Fest coming up in November. Yeah, we just released dates on our big Las Vegas festival.
Oh, that's awesome.
Our big yearly festival that we do every year.
Nice.
And we do some out of town stuff, and yeah,
Nice.
it's silly, but it's a lot of fun. And for some reason, people listen to us be smartasses.
There you
I love
go.
That sounds like my perfect show.
Yeah,
You
Matt
guys need
Mattingly's Ice Cream Social.
Need a guest spot there?
We always have guest spots. We had a guest spot today.
And you can see Bucky Hurd with the Righteous Brothers and Steve
Hey.
Weiss behind the scenes at Humanity Drumming.
Hey.
Champ, congrats.
Thank
See you
you
next year.
Kenny.
Thank you very much.
It's been an absolute pleasure to do this with you 2 years in a row.
Yep. Year 3 coming up. Listenership going from 20 to 25.
Hey.
that note,
Goals.
As long as it goes up.
Hashtag goals. My name's Kenny Davidson.
I'm Christina Shaw.
See y'all next season.
Bye, everybody.